All right. Hello, folks. Welcome back to Cluster Stream number 2. And
Oh, there it is.
yeah,
We're live.
yes, we
We're
are.
live.
We're well,
It
as,
works.
We are in fact live.
yes,
Trim, like it before it goes to before it goes down again.
that's right. Before
Like-
before the thing explodes on all of us, like small Japanese woman getting a bukkake.
Hey guys, do you hear it ticking?
That's Susan's heart getting ready to explode over the stress this is causing.
Are you hearing someone speak?
Say that.
No, I'm not gonna finish that one.
Funny you say that, given what I was typing into chat.
Ah, yes. The
Speaking of triggered,
the third movement of the triggering.
tick, 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 tick. I miss the Allahu Akbar memes on YouTube.
So, yes, hello everyone yet again. Yeah, this is an excellent way to start your morning, afternoon, whatever. It's
Morning, afternoon, I don't fucking know. Been in the tech hell until now. What is even life? Boo.
yes,
I've
so
been trapped in the void so long, I don't know what day it is anymore.
Which season? Tell me what season.
so yes. I have the most glorious of internet apparently.
Yes.
Because
Very indecisive. Very indecisive.
yes. Well, I suffer from the glorious Comcast internet, which decides to just eat itself from time to time.
Glorious Comcat. What?
Yeah.
No, Bukkake was earlier. We're past that now.
Trim, you and your stuttering are going to make you sound presidential.
Shit.
Former vice presidential.
Don't tell him that. He might see me as a threat.
So are we going to
Yeah,
have
we
to
could
go
see
with
you if you were standing in front of him.
never underestimate Trim's ability to fuck things up?
Exactly. But never underestimate my ability to fuck things up to the point where I'm actually fixing things. I'm just
I'm
screwing up so hard that I'm screwing up when I'm screwing up.
I'm Knight says no gamer words ardent. Listen, I only said ginger once.
How dare you? How dare you? How dare you? I am half ginger. We have been oppressed by you soul-keeping little shits.
Excuse me, my hair is redder than yours.
You know, what hair?
It's
What
growing
hair?
in.
I mean that's a
Actually,
fair
that's
point.
grow in. Also, take this finger.
I deserve that. I'll take it.
So you see why I be the one. Bezik's fighting drop bears with a spoon in Australia's outback. And my internet decided to go belly up and just absolutely, completely fucked itself harder than, well, I would say
Kamala Harris
Biden
looking for a
with some small 12-year-old, but we can't say that on live, eh?
No. Oh no.
Yeah, because we only said it because it's hypothetical. Hypothetically, Biden does
In
tiny children.
Minecraft?
Has anyone ever noticed that it runs in the family in the Bidens?
Oh yeah.
Joe sniffs 12-year-olds. Hunter sniffs coke. So, clearly, the problem is the sniffing.
And things run down the leg uninvitedly, you know.
Also, he walks around in confused circles after having delivered a speech that he's crammed so many drugs in him in order to remember.
Talking about Joe, right? Not Hunter.
I mean, can you really tell the difference anymore?
Yeah.
One has a dead stare, another has a dead stare. Honestly, there's nothing different but age between them.
Oh, no,
But
no.
drugs do
Chemically
take
enhanced.
time.
I would say the level of corruption's slightly different.
The level or the exposure?
Well, I mean, those go into two very opposite directions with the Bidens.
Yes.
One goes to hell, one goes to super hell.
Well, they're both in
Super
D.C.,
hell.
so if they were in New York, that's super hell.
It is. Half the point. So fucking
Pain. Pain.
fuck cities in general. They're cancer.
Yes.
Evil. They're absolute evil.
And that's on a good day.
So on good days, they're like skin cancer that you can get treated. On bad days, they're inoperable testicular brain cancer.
Oh.
Ouch.
There's a joke to be made at Earl's expense here, but I'll be nice.
Oh, that's right. Yeah. Hi, Earl.
Poor Earl.
Student of history says ginger is a genetic abnormality that makes one utterly soulless and also makes women 30% more attractive than baseline, although at the cost of 50% more aggression. Yes.
Just 50%? I mean, I thought it was like closer to
So
75.
The
Also,
annoying
you
part
say
is
that
I
like it's a
can't
bad thing.
refute this. The problem is I can't refute this, and nor do I want to.
Trim, it sounds like you need to go on a rant about gingerdom.
No.
Ginger supremacy.
Oh, I don't need to remind you about ginger supremacy. That is clear as day, my friends.
Yes. Although, personally, I'm quite offended by the fact that Marvel continues to ginger erase one of its oldest characters.
Well, you do know that they're jealous as hell, so they just want to remove anything that threatens their power.
True.
Speaking of things that threaten power, the
Hi, Susan.
Your words, not mine, bro.
so
I didn't really
we
need that
have
channel
this,
with 120 subscribers that badly anyway.
I mean, hemorrhaging subscribers is my thing. Either inflicted or actual
I'm the
loss,
one who's
I'm
been
not sure.
hemorrhaging subscribers. I'm the one who's been hemorrhaging subscribers. If you can losing 2 subscribers hemorrhaging.
you had more to lose. So,
Mm.
yeah. So, looking at this lovely TikTok officer in Washington State. Speaking of hair, I mean, I'm sorry, but when
Does it
some
have hair?
cop rolls up on me with stripper hair, I just can't take her seriously.
She's wearing, or
No, it is like basically a skull cap made out of bleach blonde hair with her roots showing.
oh, why would you do that?
Ooh.
I mean, this is...
I'm speaking for myself, but I'm
This is
probably
why.
speaking for a large majority of other officers out there. If we're driving on the freeway
Oh no,
in
you're
our
not.
police car, get the out of the way. Get the out of the way.
No.
Go fuck
If
yourself.
you merge and
No.
we follow behind you and we merge too, you're probably in trouble. Best way to find that out is get the out of the way.
No.
I can go 90 miles an hour. You can't.
not
can't.
during
You can't
your
do that.
10-hour
So get
suspension.
the out of the way. If us officers stay behind you long enough, we can find a reason to pull you over. So you might as well
Nice
get
threat.
the out of the way. Super simple. That's all. You're welcome.
The thing
No,
I
the thing that
really
really
like about
burns me-
this attitude, I've seen where they do cross-jurisdictional bullshit, and it's like, oh, look at me, I'm a cop too. Can you give me some professional courtesy? And that's how they get their vehicles
Oh.
searched by other cops, which is glorious. And it's like, oh, you're trying to hide something, aren't you, officer?
What? Police officers hiding something? How
the,
dare you
uh,
insinuate it?
This brings up a secondary story. Did anyone see Grady Judd's most recent press conference about the deputy sheriff? The deputy chief, rather.
You mean this one?
Yes.
Oh, 15 minutes of glorious spurging. Let's go.
With me today.
Oh, I love greeting.
I'm going to talk briefly about an op that we're going to do a press conference on this next Friday morning. So y'all stay tuned for more news on Friday morning. But this obviously became big news in Cartersville, Georgia, at the police department, and the information quickly leaked out. And so now all the news media is asking for this information, so you're getting a early preview of what's going to be a very interesting release of information on a human trafficking operation.
Ooh, what?
As you know,
You mean more than the Biden administration hauling illegals up to various other states? Just saying.
Sending them back to Florida for Martha's Vineyard.
Oh, I gotta love that.
Funny how diversity is a crime and horrible and goes out of the window as soon as it happens in the Garden of the Ivory Tower.
I mean, diversity is only a gift when it's given to those that don't want it. But, yes, and
True.
student of history will literally own your badge by the end of the conversation, Officer E thought. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Officer Karen
I
is
take
going
exception
down.
to using the term "thought" for this person.
I'm sure she's probably the type that's like, oh well, I'm going to stop and frisk that dude and give him a handy in the back of the cruiser. She just comes across like that.
Ooh.
Yeah, I could see that.
we seek
I mean,
out victims
hot
of human
crazy
trafficking.
scale is right once again.
No, that's just the crazy scale. Just saying.
Is there really a difference these days?
She's not hot.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I mean, that's because she's in the uniform.
no,
If
no,
she
no.
dresses up properly, she might be.
It's the eyes and the
you
nose.
have to understand, women in uniform are generally more hot than they are out of uniform.
Exactly.
That one is ugly in uniform. There's no way to put pearls on that pig.
I mean, just look at her soulless eyes, and it's like this woman is desperate for attention, and she's probably going to get some sort of internal review looking in on her.
Allow me to. I need to big screen this and just turn up the quality a bit. It's being bad quality here. Let's see. Okay, now I'm starting to see it.
There
Sorry,
we go.
it was kind of pixely.
Or
Well,
piggly.
I retract my previous
Pixely.
statement.
Yeah,
I retract my previous statement.
so
That is a horrendous.
I mean that's just a baseline unattractive woman. Period. End of story.
Yeah.
And
She doesn't help herself any by opening her mouth and speaking.
no, and the look at those goddamned eyebrows.
She's got AOC eyes.
No, she doesn't, because
Sure,
the lids
very
are on the
weird
top
about
of the
that.
iris. AOC, it's like far above the iris, which is kind of the crazy eyes.
Sampoku or Sampuku, I think they're called.
Okay.
I've heard
Sounds kinda
Aiden
weeby.
speak about it a few times, where you can see the white all the way around the iris. It basically is an indicator of not zealotry, but some sort of ideological madness, essentially.
Yes, that's exactly it. And Prime Night, 100,000 illegals appear in Texas, small town, no problem. 50 illegals appear at Martha's Vineyard. My backyard, my house. Oh no! Yeah. And yep, you see why I'd be the one.
Value, no.
I'm willing that Officer OnlyFans here is.
There we go. That's perfect.
Officer
Guys,
Lonely Fans.
guys, I gotta dip for a few minutes. I'll try to be back in like 15, 20. All right.
Have fun.
Grim has a
Thank
bridge he
you,
has to be
bye-bye.
under in 5 minutes.
Don't
The
call me out
the moonlight's
about
coming
this,
out.
Canadian. I will get my gypsy friend to throw a gypsy curse on you.
I'm not scared of gypsies.
No. They're just gonna steal
What are they
stuff.
going to do? Make me thinner?
You're going to do with 20 less pounds. Oh no.
Oh shit. So, in other words, a particularly strenuous Friday?
Yes. Yes. Let's return to Grady Judge and
Yeah.
this glorious Georgia-Florida line thing.
And in order to do
Before
that,
you pop
do
back to that,
prostitution.
though. Oh.
Yep.
I was just going to comment on what Prime Knight had said, or UCYB the one had said, she looks like she'd do porn. Yes, and still go poor.
Yeah. I should probably pay them for her to do it.
Prostitution stings.
Well, no, actually,
Oh.
yeah, go ahead.
No. Go. Let's finish this.
I was going to say, you'd have to pay her not to do porn so that everybody else could be happy.
I mean, fair. That's a fair assessment.
Well, when you do these operations, as this one was hugely successful, we'll talk about Friday, you arrest Johns who are seeking out prostitutes as well. Well, let me introduce you to what I consider a high-profile arrest. This is Deputy Chief Jason DePrima of the Cartersville Police Department. As I understand it, after talking to his chief, he's been there almost 30 years, graduate of the FBI Academy, well-respected police officer.
So, FBI Academy graduate. I mean, with the way things are going now, the jokes kind of make themselves.
Explains the haircut, too.
Yeah, and kind of the smug expression on his face. It's like, oh yeah, I could go get a hooker rather than, I don't know, do the hard work.
Or, go home to my wife.
Yeah. Primed, the boat chef shall return, supposedly, if we have to kidnap him from his bridge.
Officer in town. Did you notice I said in town? But he was out of town. That's right, he was at an American Polygraph Association meeting in Orlando, Florida. Let me say this clearly. I don't want you to miss it. Driving an unmarked vehicle that was normally assigned to the DEA task force, meaning their officer assigned to the task force would have driven this vehicle. But apparently his vehicle was not so good to make the trip, so he's in one of the undercover vehicles. When he shows up at our undercover operation in the government vehicle, carrying alcoholic beverages, apparently some Bud Light for himself and White Claw for our undercover operative. That's right, he bought a case of White Claw because she said she would like it.
White Claw.
Oh my.
So
Was he dating
ostensibly,
Brandon Herrera?
this guy has come to have
Clearly.
sex with a prostitute while driving the Cartersville Police Department undercover vehicle, and he was in possession of alcohol, which of course, had we not intervened, he was going to drink that, engage in sexual conduct, and ultimately get in his government vehicle and drive back to his hotel. But newsflash, this is Jason DePrima, 49 years of age, his picture at the Polk County Jail. That's right, and let me tell you the story as he relates it to us. He is texting with, guess what, our undercover detective. He started this conversation with her on Wednesday night where he was going to show up, but he became spooked. He didn't say why, but on Thursday night, he just couldn't resist the urge to be with our undercover detective, who he thought was a high-class prostitute. So he once again began to communicate. He asked how much the price is. She said $80, or a full half hour, $120.
Oh, that's
He said,
that's like weirdly like, oh yeah, this is super cheap. It's like, yeah, you get what you pay for
Oh wait,
in jail.
it gets so much better.
Yep. Hey, Bezic, how are you
He's
doing?
gonna get all
How
the
are
sex he
drop
can
bears?
handle. Not gonna be the sex he wants.
Oh dear, time zones are a bastard, Bleach, I tell you.
Yes. So, and I will have
That's
to
right, it's that time of year again, isn't it?
beg chat's indulgence. I hadn't set your icon up here, Bezic, but we might get that in stream before it gets too late. So, yes. Thanks for showing up.
Yes.
Have you
Apologies, everyone.
successfully repelled the drop bears?
Yes. I was distracted. Shrim's screeching into the void attracted drop bears.
Gonna be the sex he wants.
I mean,
For some reason, he seems to
ya.
seems to have a
Yeah.
fascination with them, so he's been
So-
learning their mating calls, and it's just causing problems.
oh, for fuck's sake.
It's the accent. It's the accent. Accents always trigger that exotica factor. So
On
of course
up
you're going
here,
to drop
Bezic,
more drop
but,
bears than
we
usual.
might get that in stream before it gets too late.
Indeed.
So.
Student of history says, "Holy shit, he's
Thanks for
alive."
showing up.
Yes.
Don't tell him
Apologies,
anything said about him either, chat.
Yeah, I'll just go check the VOD later.
Yeah, well,
Oh,
yeah.
yeah.
It could be worse. Yeah, my internet decided to die during the start of the stream.
Twice.
Fair enough.
Yeah, so.
What the fuck's going on with, with your internet?
It's called paying my bills on time because they don't like it when I do that.
Strange.
Well, it's Comcast. Yeah, they've earned the reputation for shitty connections.
Dumbcast. Yes.
Not even that glorious.
said, I'm in. So he comes to the house. Ultimately, he's arrested. But the conversation is very interesting. He told her before the takedown occurred that the night before he had engaged with another prostitute online for $200. And that prostitute said, hey, go get a Cash App card. You know, you can buy them at the convenience stores. And he did for $200. And then she said, I want you to take a photograph of it so I know you've got the money. Well, duh. He took a photograph and sent it to the alleged prostitute on Wednesday night, according to him.
The dumbass gets scared.
You're not going to believe this.
Nice.
Oh, so he found himself a nice little illegal. This is glorious.
Just a little bit.
You can't even believe this. Now, this guy's a cop. And he was flim-flammed and conned by a prostitute. That's right. She took the information off of the card, got the $200, and left him high and dry. He was ripped off
Mostly dry.
in a confidence scam
Right.
with a prostitute or who was alleged to be a prostitute.
Glorious.
So that was
Just
on Wednesday.
glorious.
Then he talks. He's
Well,
not
he
giving
certainly
up.
got fucked.
Then he talks.
Well, not the way he was planning.
Just not
though.
what he was expecting.
This is. I mean, I have so little sympathy for this piece of shit.
Yeah. So I take it you've been looking at the assorted scumfuckery the crime enforcement's been up to in the States.
Well, we haven't quite
I
gotten
think I
to that
saw
level.
in the thumbnail that hoe bag from it.
Oh yes, that piece of shit. Yeah, Officer.
I was
Karen.
really
Karen?
impressed. Yeah. Oh, what? How fantastic! They took it really seriously by giving her an unpaid vacation for a day.
Oh, God, yeah. That really is.
There's no reason whatsoever that I don't know. People might not trust the cops.
Strange that. Very, very
Yeah,
strange.
funny thing how when you exercise privileges you're not entitled to, people take it badly.
Yes.
But could you imagine just the tragedy of Officer Karen? Not getting to be a complete hoe all the time.
I mean, at least in the States, there are at least theoretically rights to protect you against that bitch.
Yes, well, you would think that they would be a bit stronger, but sadly, no.
And not so much.
Actually, that brings me to another point. And unless you've got something you were planning to look at, particularly Bleach,
I hadn't really.
I have a.
Oh, go ahead.
Because I have a rebuttal to make against the Lotus Eater's thin blue dickhead guest.
Yes, I was hoping we would get into some of that a bit later, and it is a very important topic, I think, to really hammer home the fact that I don't think they understand. Well, that fellow doesn't understand the implications that he was kind of going on. It's like, oh yeah, no, we need to do stop and frisk. It's like, stop and frisk doesn't change the culture. That's the problem.
No, you don't.
Yeah.
No. And fucking Carl. Oh yeah, we need stop and frisk. Okay, that's nice, Carl. Would you like to be searched? No, or do you know that you're probably fine because it's almost entirely going to be, I don't know, your fucking kids in 10 years.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and that's something where...
How you gonna feel, Carl, when your kids come home, when your son comes home from school crying because the fucking cops felt up his penis? I thought it was a knife, Governor, honest?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and that's the thing. That's the problem with stop and frisk outside of very targeted areas, because it has had limited use in very specific cases, but those officers weren't just going around just doing anything and everything they wanted. It was very specific, very targeted individuals. But that said,
yeah,
I don't think the way that was being discussed is what is really going to happen in this particular case that Nick was talking about.
So I'm definitely going to try and cover it again when we run Sultans. But let me just look up the gov.uk. Police pass to stop and search your rights. Scroll. Let's see. Stop and search. You can only be you can be stopped and searched without reasonable grounds if it has been approved by a senior police officer. This can happen if it's suspected that serious violence could take place. Fantastic.
Mm-hmm.
I could make serious violence take place at any time, anywhere, with my bare fucking hands. You're carrying a weapon or have used one, and that's just suspicion.
Weapon.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
Or you're in a specific location or area, and say we define that area as, I don't know, England.
Yeah, the laxity of specificity with a lot of laws that are meant to protect people from each other is extremely irritating.
Yeah, because
there's the one says the Fourth Amendment. Yeah, like I said, it must be nice to have rights.
Which one's the fourth again? Is that privacy?
Yes.
Yeah, unreasonable search and seizure.
Yep.
Okay.
Bleach is like, the fuck does the Australian know that?
I'm
Jealousy.
Impressed. It's like, oh.
Jealousy.
Well, yeah.
He can be taught. Now, if only he could be liberated.
Well, that's a
yeah. Never mind
thing.
going to war with Russia to free Ukraine. Invade Australia, bring us freedom.
I mean,
Bleach, you need to tell the potato pederast that we have.
I
Listen,
mean,
Canada
I'm good
has
with
oil.
this.
They're not interested.
I'm very good with this.
We need to get Trump back in and then point out to him that we have oil and Trudeau, and we want to get rid of both.
Yeah. And
Yeah.
Australia has uranium, coal, and oil. Go on, Trump. Come on.
I'm
Let's some
hearing
democracy.
petroleum. It's like,
Yes.
Bleach is a happy boy.
We also have a lot of other natural resources.
Like drop bears.
No, we have wild baloney.
I need to clip Trimble into the fucking drop bear. I should clip that and put it back on his channel as a short.
Oh yeah, that would just be possibly the most glorious thing in a long time.
Student of history says we'll make an American out of you yet. Listen, both Bezic and I are trans-Texan.
Look, well, there's only two things stopping us.
Yeah. Laws and distance.
Yeah, pretty much.
Fair enough. Fair enough.
And the distance
Well,
is starting to be less of an
I was
impediment.
actually going to say, well, the pedo in chief just has a requirement for a green card as being certain things that are morally reprehensible to me, and also I need a green card, just in general.
I mean, fair enough.
Or alternately, we could both move to Chicago and campaign against Lori Lightfoot.
I mean, this sounds like you're threatening me with a fantastic time.
Well, I mean, if we can get to Mexico, we can get a free bus ride to Martha's Vineyard.
Yes. Yes, you could. And
I suspect that while they're putting us on the bus, if we point out, no, I want to stay in your state and work and pay taxes and go for citizenship. I don't want to be an illegal immigrant in your country. I suspect they might go, oh, okay, well, here, have an asylum thing.
No.
Well, I mean, if
let me dream.
You're too white.
If we had the Orange Man in charge, I mean, I'd be very tempted to make an asylum claim and tweet him directly.
I mean, yes.
Like, dude, I'm from Australia. I'm being oppressed by my government for, asking for bare minimum rights.
No. You mean drop bear minimum rights?
Yeah.
Prime Knight has it right. He identifies as a medieval knight. It's within his rights to kidnap nobles or rich people and ransom them.
Yes.
Based.
Yes, indeed.
Just make sure that nobody that you're working with is wearing aviators, has a cropped haircut, wearing those stupid khaki slacks. Basically, if they look like a Fed.
Yes, exactly.
Glow from space.
If they glow, it's a problem.
Yeah, I think I'm still trying to recover my tan from the other week with the Fed front.
Oh, so that's the real reason.
Ironically, UCY Beta 1 says we should start tanning now so that when we get to Mexico, we can just walk across the border without raising suspicion.
See.
However, Student of History points out Argentinians are quite white, so we might get away with that. Also, you have what would, to the uneducated ear, sound like a British accent. So,
how do you say "kiss my Fifth Amendment" in Portuguese?
It's hang on.
That's a good point.
Not to mention, I know how to get past the border patrol checkpoints. I can speak English and go, do you have reasonable articulable suspicion?
I mean, fair.
Dear.
If I've got this right, Beja mina quinta emenda.
How dare you?
Do love Google Translate. Hey, it's Kiss My Fifth Amendment. Oh, Prime Knight points out if we carry tiki torches, they'll probably let us in anyway.
I mean, yes.
If we go, we promise we'll do a naughty thing in the name of Trump. they'll
Oh,
probably
God,
pay
the
for it.
FBI will fund us to get in now and arm us when we get there.
I mean, I'm all
Yep,
for
and then we
arming
just have to
the
go,
proper type.
Thanks for the free guns. See you later.
Fair.
I still maintain that on your 18th birthday or when you're granted citizenship, you should also be handed a gun.
Yes. And not just, here you go, straight into military service. No, it's like, here's a firearm. You must learn how to care for it, take care of it well, or you're going to suffer the consequences.
Yep. Even if it's something cheap.
This is my rifle. This is my gun.
As I was saying,
This is for
in
civil defense. This is
text
for fun.
stats the other day, the well-regulated part of well-regulated militias should mean that we have a regulation that you have to be part of the armed.
Oh, yeah. And that's the way it used to be.
like
here in the States.
England used to have.
And in the U.S. up until really our Civil War, and then that's when it started diverging there quite a bit.
Divergence. Hello, Bessic.
Ah,
Was that about?
Hello,
birds?
like Jeff.
Yay! Yeah, I'm back.
So
I
is
just
everyone
ate dinner,
that's
and
Swedish.
it's the best dinner thing ever.
Now, did I hear you say that you were okay with doing the the delayed due to drop bear interference Sultans tomorrow?
Yes.
I'm good with that as well.
I don't have a hard time set, but if you could do it in my evening, that would be preferred. But
Yeah,
I'll take the time tomorrow, and I can be flexible.
Do you have a time in mind?
Not so much in my case,
Oh, I'm
but
actually
around
asking
maybe. Oh shit!
I'm talking to the boss here, Trim. Come on.
Me.
Silence, boat chef. Booty
Shit.
boy.
Aw.
Fishing
Hey,
dishes.
I get no respect.
No, you don't.
So, are we planning for the regular time zone tomorrow, Bezic?
I think Trim needs it later. Is that right, Trim?
Yeah, a little bit. It depends.
On.
Depends on when I leave where I'm currently visiting.
Ah.
Leave
Okay.
back to my apartment. Yeah. So if we can get it around like a little bit later on the evening. What the hell are you rubbing, Ardent?
He's
It's
playing
my
with
talking
his
stick.
wood.
Uh-huh.
My
That's
talking
a
stick.
long white
I
wood.
hit people until they fall unconscious, so I can keep talking.
If we could do it around the evening, like 8 o'clock my time, that'd be excellent, if it's possible for you.
What time is it there currently, Trim?
Right now, every clock turns itself off, of course. 16:38.
Okay, so
Okay,
that's,
so that's
4.5 hours difference. That's
that'd be
3:30 for me.
2 a.m. We could do that.
Yeah.
Okay, sure.
Wonderful.
Had a pen. Rare.
Yeah, Primed. We'll do your segment during tomorrow's stream.
Yeah, that would be much better than trying to cram it into the clusterfuckery that's my stream today.
Yeah, and we'll definitely talk about. I'll definitely talk about the fucking knife crime, you fucking wanko cock sucking stupid fucking cops. Did I mention fuck you, pig?
No, not in the last 5 minutes. No, 6 minutes ago. Yes.
Oh,
We're
I agree
just-
then.
That is highly unusual for you, Bezza. You tend to rip on the law system in Australia on like a second basis.
Speaking of
Yeah, but
saying things
I-
about the police that we don't like, does anyone else remember the rhyme, I smell bacon, I smell pork, run you piggies, I've got a fork?
Yes, but that comes
No,
from the
but I like it.
1960s hippie bullshit, so. Yeah.
Seriously?
Yeah. That's like
But speaking of
the
cop
Weather
stuff,
Underground
I've
era.
been watching some interesting channels such as Lackluster and Audit the Audit. Bleach might be familiar.
Audit the
And,
Audit is a good channel.
I'm rapidly coming around to the position of maybe we should defund and abolish the police.
Yes, but only if we rearm the people immediately afterwards.
Well,
No, we should
that
rearm
goes
the
without
people
saying.
immediately and then dismantle the police.
Yeah. 'Cause
Fair.
if you look at, the historical where basically the citizens were involved in the law enforcement aspects, not in actual arrests, but they would be drafted into posses and whatnot to aid the sheriff and his immediate deputy.
Or what did they call it? Raising a hue and cry in England,
Yep.
where a magistrate, I think it was a magistrate at that time, or a constable, though it was a different kind of constable to what we're used to.
Could
Go, hey, we're going chasing some criminals.
Yes, known as raising a posse in the United States.
Yes.
Or forming a lynch mob if you're a lefty.
No.
I mean,
Is there really a difference these days?
A lot of lefties should be introduced to no
Connotation pretty much is the only difference.
You see why I be the one? I like how Bez's flag becomes the old flag when he speaks. Yes, that. Congratulations, I've unfucked one thing of my stream today.
Entirely by accident, I'm sure. Interestingly, that's nearly entire. It's actually still an acceptable flag. You can fly it as
Marine
the
ensign.
naval ensign.
Yes.
Yep, it's the Marine ensign. So it works out really well.
And it's also got a lot of history with it, with being various red ensigns around the Commonwealth.
Mm-hmm.
Canada had a gorgeous red ensign for a while.
Yes, and then they
entire
went with
fucking
the
flag's red.
Maybe it's Maybelline.
On the upside, and I'll point it out because Trim's native flag is on screen. At least with the Canadian flag, the Australian flag, various ensigns, even the U.S. flag, if the ship is in trouble, at least we can tell people.
Here's an interesting and true fact for you, Ardent.
Mm.
According to international regulation on how to announce distress, one of the recognized symbols is a fire on the deck.
Oh. Never have guessed.
Trim?
So if anything bad happens, I just light shit on fire. Gotcha.
Yes.
I'm very okay with this.
I think in theory it means that you're supposed to have like a drum on the deck and then you light a fire in that. But also, if your boat's on fire, that's automatically a distress signal.
I just had a lovely image of Trim being awoken by a PA announcement of the ship sinking, leaping out of bed and stripping his sheets, running up to the deck and setting them on fire.
Are you meaning to tell me that shouldn't be a priority for me?
Well, I mean, if you're drowning, you're gonna want to be warm. So
Yes.
And UCY be the one. Didn't they change that during the Cold War because it looked like a commie flag? For Canada, I thought it was simply because they became a Commonwealth nation, not part of the Empire directly. So they wanted a new flag for that.
Canada's flag didn't change until I believe it was the 80s when we had our current flag. Let me check.
I thought it was like 77, but I could be wrong, massively wrong on that.
Let's see.
No, Australia's had the red ensign and the traditional flag since 1901. Wow.
And the Canadian flag was adopted February 15th, 1965.
Yeah, well, we were all wrong.
So still well after the Second World War, though.
Yeah.
Yeah.
technically, Australia had two flags from 1901 to 1953, when the blue one became the official national one. And then the red ensign is the official flag flown at sea by registered merchant ships.
Yep.
Kind of blue, dubba-dee-dubba-die.
Trim.
Yeah.
I'm not apologizing.
Stop
Can
speaking
we
in
vote to kick Trim?
1990s music.
You can't fucking stop me. You can mute me, but not stop me.
Oh, I
So
could do worse than that.
One. We didn't change it from red to blue. We had two flags, red and blue, but there was a bit of confusion. Then in the 50s, they went, we'll go with the blue one. Possibly because of communism, but I don't know. But we've always had both.
Yeah, because I remember some, oddly enough, some photographs I saw in the Passchendaele Museum where the Australian forces had both flags displayed in one of their photos. Or it was like kind of crossed over. They were doing some big pose with regimental stuff. It was kind of cool.
Mm-hmm.
So I just did a quick Google search for communist flags because I wanted to see exactly what they were talking about. Bezek, I have some terrible news about the Communist Australia group. They're using a red and yellow Eureka flag.
Right, we're going to have some civil infighting.
Yeah.
Yeah, congratulations.
For some reason, I got the theme of Chip and Dale's in my brain right now.
Chip and Dales.
I mean, the Rescue
Chip
Rangers or
and
the strippers?
Dale.
Oh, okay.
Congratulations,
Yeah, there are a
chat.
lot of
You've
communist
descended
flag
into
larpers.
Trim's brain.
There's no escape.
Yeah.
Abandon
yes.
all hope, ye who enter here.
You see why I be the one. Didn't they use the red one primarily during World War II, etc.? I know the theory was the red ensign was the battle ensign for British and Commonwealth nations, but I've never seen it.
That's it. But being a Marine ensign,
Yep.
that would have been the one that they were flying in combat.
Yeah.
Potentially.
Which I've always liked
Mortal
the
Kombat.
red ensigns. So.
Yeah, they're the guys who die first.
Let's see. In 1901, had a competition, a flag for official Commonwealth use, and another for the Merchant Navy. The winning design for the Merchant Navy was the one that was red.
That kind of makes sense.
Mm-hmm. Let's say Shipment and Registration Act of 1981. Australian Red Ensign was the proper colours for Australian registered ships, and that smaller, less than 30 tons of pleasure and fishing craft can fly either the Red Ensign or the Australian flag, but not both at the same time.
That's curious. I wonder why not both. I mean, just from a practical standpoint, it probably doesn't make sense to have multiple flags like that, but...
No.
Only one at a time, boys and girls.
Mm-hmm.
Wait, does that make me racist to say like that?
Anything you say in Norwegian is...
Swedish.
We assume that when terms speaks
I will
Norwegian,
ignore
it's all
that you
gamer
said
words
that,
anyway.
Bezek, because we're friends.
Trolls never forgive. They never forget.
That was elephants. You saying?
Yeah,
I thought that was ducks.
No, if ducks just rape anything that moves.
What would you rather
One of
fight?
the-
One elephant-sized duck or a horde of duck-sized elephants?
A horde of
Duck-sized
duck-sized elephants.
Just immediately. You can kick.
Yeah,
You can
no one
kick
wants to
the
be
crap
raped by
out
a
of a
duck
duck.
that big.
It's not even it's not even a question though.
A giant corkscrew trunk
You've
just
at least
appears.
got. You've...
Hey,
Oh, God.
caramba.
Boom.
See, Trim, there's some inspiration
Besides,
for your
you could
drawing
you
wars.
could tame the duck-sized elephants, and holy shit, could you imagine the money you could make with the petting zoo?
Oh,
but see-
not that kind of petting zoo.
It'd be a heavy petting zoo.
Trim,
settle
get
down,
out of
Trim.
Butter.
A
Too
heavy
late.
petting zoo.
I'm living here.
Trim, you're not allowed to be the Chinkwigger of this podcast.
But so
You
instead of
say
the
that.
Young Turks, it's the
Oh,
Young
dear.
Trims.
No.
Young
God.
trolls.
That was true.
I just appreciate the fact that the screen is stopped on this particular gesture, and we're having this.
It explains the entire conversation, doesn't it?
It does.
If we end up in Florida, boys, we've got to be in Polk County.
Oh yeah.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah.
That sounds
Well, I'm gonna
foggy.
apply to work for Grady Judd. Fuck that.
I mean, at least you know you'd be given a fair
Just,
shake.
just get him to deputize us, and we'll go fucking hunt.
You can't kill evil too much, in my opinion.
Exactly.
Evil can never
Just give
be
me the
dead enough.
means.
Actually, speaking of, it's not entirely irrelevant, but it's really funny and it's totally American. I heard a really neat answer, a really good answer to the question. Oh, what are you hunting with that you need an AR with 30 rounds? Traitors.
Yes.
Nice.
I mean, and
There
they're
we
all
go.
over the traitor word these days. So,
Yeah.
yes, I approve.
Mr. Trey and Tor.
Student of history asks, "Are ducks a form of cultural enrichment?"
Yes, they are.
Yes.
Yes.
Especially with
And you see
the...
why
They're
Avita
all
One
fat.
says, "Oh, you see why Avita One says he'd take the elephant-sized duck because its meat would be delicious and last me for years."
If you
Yeah,
put it up
and
correctly.
elephant-sized ducks will provide a lot of jerky.
Yeah. Although, yeah, thinking of the cultural enrichment from the ducks with the special trunks, the wine Karens would just
Ducks of
absolutely
peace.
love that.
Hey, not only that, but also if you have, I'm pretty sure that if you could check on religion, I'm pretty sure that the ducks would all be subscribing to a religion of very peaceful intentions.
The religion of bread.
Ducks of peace.
Whack.
It's the religion of Gibbs bread.
Are you ducking me?
Aw, you ducking kidding? No.
Quackahoo quack bar.
Shallowhack.
Bread be upon you.
Oh.
Oh god.
Oh.
Actually, that reminds me, and it's completely irrelevant, but this stream's a clusterfuck. Did
Really?
you guys see the video of the Muslim bowing to the Queen?
You know, I
No.
have not seen that video, but I've known
Is
the
this
story.
the guy in Mecca?
No,
That's
I
kinda
thought
cute,
it was
though.
in London.
That's nice.
It is.
Aw.
No,
There was a
as he
story-
went, as
Go ahead, Bezos.
one guy went past the casket, he turned to face it, went down on his knees, did his thingy, stood back up, and moved on. And I thought that was really sweet.
Yeah, really
Yeah,
nice. I
Extremely
approve of
respectful.
this.
Yeah.
Well, that's it. That like as a, like from his perspective, yeah, that was extremely respectful.
Yeah.
Like, who else would he do that for?
And then you have the other retards who are just, he's dead, no more monarchy. Whatever.
Oh, well, yeah. Those people just, you know, the hecklers
shot.
and all that. No, well, not going to be using that. the hecklers, it's like, really? Why is this the time? Of all things. I mean,
Because they're pathetic losers.
Oh, I hate you, Guardian.
yeah.
Meanwhile, in Saudi Arabia, a man was arrested after making a pilgrimage to Mecca for the Queen.
Yep.
Yep.
Bit stupid. But
Saudi authorities. I'll just read the first paragraph here. Saudi authorities have arrested a man who claimed to have traveled to the Muslim holy city of Mecca to perform an Umrah pilgrimage on behalf of Queen Elizabeth II, and he's a Yemeni national.
mhm.
I will poke that into the to the live shows somewhere.
Well, just put it in the show
as
chat. and I can-
Prime Knight says, there are some good Muslims. Yep, and that guy
Okay,
would
you
be
want to
one of
cover it,
them.
Bleach?
Yeah, or at least let's get it up on screen since we're talking about it.
There you go.
All right. But yeah, it's like I am very bothered by the fact that these things are it's like
Serious?
Prime Knight, or not Prime Knight, rather. There. Yeah, Prime Knight says, check memes. I posted the commie shouting about the Queen. Did you post that to Sultan's, or did you post it in Bleach's channel?
hardly anybody's
Just
in
Discord,
mine
I mean.
by choice. So,
Yeah, okay, I'll check Sultan's real quick then.
but yeah, it's like you see
There it is.
moments like this guy going on the pilgrimage and wanting to honor the Queen and then getting arrested for it. It's like, this is just not great. Not a great look.
Not at all.
And
That's not the one Prime Knight sent.
oh.
Yeah. No, I'm looking at a different. I'm looking at the one about a man regretting the blindfold removal during Schrodinger's blowjob.
Oh.
God.
Okay, here's the other one.
I'm glad I didn't rush to put that one in.
No, probably best you didn't.
Now, what the hell would make someone regret a blowjob, I wonder?
I mean, have you looked at Officer
A lot of
Karen?
things. Paint. Where did you post it? Pardon?
Bleach, I don't want to do this without your permission, so I'd like to post the Discord invite in chat if I may.
Absolutely.
Ooh.
Yeah. Yeah, that's not gonna happen.
Discord app detected. What the fuck?
Yeah.
How the hell did Discord detect Discord?
I don't know. Yeah. It's like, oh,
We're
this is
getting
lovely.
some sweet Discord action.
Discord on Discord action. Oh God.
Discord kake.
Oof.
And there's just speaking of the Queen's death, I found it just there was, of course, most of us Yanks, we don't get it fully, but there was something and I wish I'd found it ahead of time, where there was this very insulting woman who was like, oh well, yeah, we're honoring our Queen, but you honored George Floyd, and it's like, you stupid bitch. No, we didn't.
Oh.
It's like, just quit treating us like your mentally deranged step cousin. We're on par with you on that, so we can understand.
No, nobody has burned down half of Portland in the name of Queen Elizabeth II.
I'm willing to.
Recently.
I mean, it would make more
Recently.
sense. It would make more
Also,
sense.
We could.
There's nothing stopping us.
I'm behind this. I'm behind this idea. Very
The only-
patriotic.
The only thing stopping us is that about half of Portland's already been burnt to the fucking ground.
Yeah, but that still leaves us plenty of it.
That's true.
Yeah.
But the expensive parts are still standing. Go figure.
Yeah, funny that.
Yeah. Surprise, surprise.
Yeah,
Very
this,
surprising.
This story is alternately touching and irritating, because this poor guy did not deserve to be arrested for this.
No. It's like,
What do
it's something where maybe somebody could have said, "Hey, this isn't a great thing for you to be doing," but I guess the only thing here is that Saudi Arabia forbids pilgrims to to Mecca from carrying banners or chanting slogans. While it's acceptable to perform an umrah on behalf of deceased Muslims, it does not apply to non-Muslims like the Queen, who is Supreme Governor of the Church of England, Mother of the Church, Worldwide Anglican Communion. So
so if he
that.
kept his mouth shut and hadn't had a banner, he would have been fine.
Yeah.
Yes, and I think if it had been
If he hadn't taken selfies.
pretty much selfies in the video, that's what got him in trouble.
But first, let him make a selfie.
No, selfies
Prime
should
Knight
be banned.
says should burn half of France in the name of the king. First question, only half? Second question, is that where we're going to start the next crusade?
Ooh.
The third question, do you seriously think anyone is burning anything in the name of Charles III?
That's a good point.
I'd burn France in the name of Charles III.
Yes, but you'd burn
Well,
France in the name
To
of
be
the
fair,
meat.
I'd burn it in...
Exactly, that's kind of my point. You just burned France anyway, so...
Yeah, but it would really upset them if we said it was in the name of Charles III.
That's true.
True.
In the name of climate change.
It's not really that hard to upset Frenchmen, though.
Well, but yeah, I can also claim to be a pretender to the English throne. So there we go.
We should burn half of France in the name of
I
stopping
mean, you could be a
climate change.
pretender, yes.
Yeah, I mean, I'm a Plantagenet by descent, so there we go. We've got pretenders taking my throne now.
These are related
Are you
to
Planned Parenthood by
King
descent?
Arthur?
What's that?
Is it King Arthur was the Plantagenet?
No, I am a mostly direct descendant of Edward IV.
Ah, okay.
So, yeah.
I'm related to Charlemagne, so haha, eat me. But then again, so is everybody on this stream. So.
Yeah, pretty much. It's like, oh, you're from Charlemagne, huh? Although that does give us
And
more right
depending
to
on how
burn,
mixed-
Well,
burn
me
France.
and the other half of my country are descended from Erik Brooks.
And depending on how mixed his background is, Bezic could also be related to Genghis Khan.
Oh, Bezic Khan.
I mean, there's a strong possibility.
Hey,
I think Genghis Bezic sounds better.
I can make
Bezic Khan.
You see why I'd be the one? We're not burning anything more in the name of St. Floyd.
Oh.
Unless
No,
it's,
but we're burning
minority
everything else in the
communities,
name of
apparently.
baseness.
Yeah.
Don't they
Black-owned
burn themselves
businesses.
though?
Funny thing,
They
that
burn
isn't it?
themselves though.
Yeah, they do.
Oh no.
So, let's see. I'll stop with the autoplay, damn you. So,
Sounds
This
like
is-
a personal problem.
no sound, but I just don't like the expression on this guy's face with the T-Mobile hat. Although he is from New York, so
Well, can you hear him now?
no, that was Verizon.
Oh, was it? Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't really care that much.
You shouldn't. Yeah, so Facebook has been spying on private messages and data of American users and reporting them to the FBI if they express anti-government, anti-authority sentiments, or question the 2020 election, according to sources in the DOJ. Under the FBI...
And for YouTube, we do not agree with questioning the 2020 election.
No,
We're just
there should be no
suggesting.
question.
It's this is
We're just suggesting that maybe it's not Facebook's business to be enforcing the law.
What? I thought
exactly.
Facebook was the supreme rulers of every thing-a-ling-ding-ding.
Pretty much, supposedly.
I mean, if you want to make an argument for lizard people existing, fucking Zuckerberg is an excellent place to start.
Yeah,
No, that's
If
an
I was a
extremely
cyborg.
sophisticated AI.
Yep. Let's see. So, and this is where I find it kind of interesting. Under the FBI collaboration operation, somebody at Facebook red flagged these supposed subversive private messages over the past 19 months and transmitted them in redacted form, bullshit, to the Domestic Terrorism Operational Unit at the FBI headquarters in D.C.
Subversive messages.
Yes.
You know, the entire fucking point of the First Amendment.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yep. Yep.
Use Boomer book. I don't know if I'd agree with that. UCY would be the one. I think the moral of the story here is don't trust anything that you can't see the inner workings of.
Yes.
Well, yeah,
True.
basically,
Is
social
that-
media is
Can you check the
corrupted.
chat and see if that's the right time? The date's wrong, but can you check the time if the time's right for that?
How do I check that?
Click on it.
Well, I need to get out the game first.
So,
Shit.
let's see. It was done outside the legal process and without probable cause, alleged one of the sources who spoke on a condition of anonymity. Facebook provides the FBI with private conversations, which are protected under the First Amendment without any subpoena. These private messages are then farmed out as leads to FBI field offices around the country, which subsequently requested subpoenas from partner U.S. attorneys' offices, mostly Soros-moneyed, in their district to officially obtain private conversations that Facebook had already shown them. That's the thing.
Yes,
Oh, joy.
I'm sure all the commies that work for Facebook in Silicon Valley are really happy about being used to dob in their fellow citizens by the federal government.
Mm-hmm. And yeah, you have to figure.
Oh God, I'm not on Facebook. You see why I'd be the one.
Yep. Zuckerberg, the
I think there
android.
might still be a page in my name, but ignore that. Zuckerberg, yes, the closest humanity has ever managed to recreating data from Next Generation.
Oh, I mean, the skin tone is correct and the eye color. Has anybody ever noticed that where it's like the eye
skills.
colors just match up too well because it's like fleshy?
Yeah, flesh-like.
Yes, or fleshlight.
Flashlight.
Rotten flesh.
Let's see. Student of history, moral of the story time: to build your own comms network. And this is government and big business working hand in hand. Fascism. As far as the own communications network, we saw what happened with what was my brain's drawing a blank. It was pre-Getter.
Parler.
Parler.
Gab.
And what happened with them with having the Google-based web hosting. That didn't go terribly well.
No. I got quite the kick out of the fact, all the January 6th planning was done on Parler, when it was actually done on Facebook.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
The same Facebook that provides information to the federal government. It's just even more indication that Facebook, or not Facebook, but the feds probably knew something was happening on January 6th.
Or
and
orchestrated.
yet again, did nothing about it.
Actually,
Yes, well.
that brings up another interesting point. Do you remember Captain Pussy Bitch from Uvalde? Not the actual cop, but the guy responsible,
Oh yeah, Pete.
who talked about it in Facebook messages?
Mm-hmm.
Good fucking job, Facebook.
Oh, great.
Yep. But see that's fine. We don't have to worry about that.
Well, yeah, that's fine because that's an excuse to ban firearms.
Yeah.
Yep.
Remember, kids, let the government take your guns. You don't have a government.
Mm-hmm. You have
have
an
rules.
authoritarian state.
Yes.
Like Australia or England.
Yes.
Or
Yeah.
Australia.
Canada.
Yeah.
New Zealand.
Yeah.
Pretty much every part of the world that's
Arm
not the
yourselves
US.
before we're all taken over by Jacinda Ardern clones.
Ah.
Speaking of fascist governments, again, harkening back to knifing human rights violations, how fucked up do you have to be to have to be more dictatorial than Australia or Canada?
They fucked up.
Ooh, that's bad.
That takes some extra effort right there.
Stop and frisk is not legal in Australia or Canada.
True. Well, you do have to remember stop and frisk originated in New York fucking city, so fuck New York.
Is that Giuliani?
Yep.
Oh, so
Well, I
yeah,
understand why Giuliani did it, but I still would have disagreed with it.
Yeah.
It would have been far better to shoot everybody with an Italian accent. I mean,
Hey, what's the matter, you?
hey, what's the problem? You, hey, pasta fazool.
Why did you shoot at me? I did nothing.
It's me, East Side Mario.
It's me, west side Mario. This is my brother, south side Luigi.
You see why I'd be the one
Side
who does
Mario's
point
is
out
actually a food chain here.
a good thing. Well, not good, but a good point. The same Facebook that streams mass shootings as well. Yeah, that's the problem with Facebook. Yeah, they've got that. They've got the teenagers that kidnapped like the mentally challenged white kid and tortured him and live streamed all that shit. Yeah, it's like yeah, it's very selective enforcement.
So inclusive, my friends. That is very inclusive, though.
Yep. And Facebook will find you if you wanted a different slate of electors 2 years ago, but not if you wanted to shoot up a school, says UCY be the one. Yeah.
That's wrong. They'll pull you both out to the FBI. It's just that the outcome is different.
Yeah.
One's forcing the state agenda. And
the second's hired and paid for.
Yeah.
One is a recruitment drive, the other isn't. I'm not saying which. Leave me alone, Susan.
Yeah, it's getting to the point of you look around, it's like all the conspiracy nuts are starting to sound like reasonable people, and the quote unquote reasonable people are all about suppression of information.
I'm being crazy.
Sorry, conspiracy nuts, which was apparently a dodgy term before certain events, but is now just means
Ahead of the curve.
Actual predictive future.
Yeah. Yep.
Like, hold on, let me go check my messages with Disco. And see what we were right about most recently.
Winding up with Disco.
Yeah, so let's see. Miranda Devine, sorry, wrote this article. It's a really good read. I think it points out a lot of the problems that we're going to be facing here in the coming months. Let's see. Student of history, besides deleting Pastafarians. Speaking of Chirac, or Chi-Town, or shithole, you guys hear about them forcing the state of Illinois to essentially decriminalize the purge. Actually, I had not. I've heard about them calling in the Illinois National Guard to start turning away busloads of illegal immigrants. But
they
liked
illegal immigrants.
That's interesting.
Yeah.
I thought they were so inclusive.
This whole decriminalizing the purge thing, I think he's referring to how they've done away with cash bail for offenses up to and including like second-degree murder.
Ah, yes. Kidnappings on there. A few other criminal acts.
Yeah, that really doesn't narrow it down.
No.
Oh, nice. I like that, Prime Night. Apparently, there is a new law in Hungary.
No cash bail law. Turn the state into the purge.
Yep.
They'll go out, they'll commit another crime and be out again in an hour.
Ooh, well done,
yeah,
Hungary.
and it's 48 hours before they can actually pursue them if they don't turn up.
That's
And
that's
Prime
the
Knight says
problem.
apparently there is a new law in Hungary. Before abortion, the mother is forced to listen to the heartbeat. Absolutely
Nice.
based.
Excellent.
Yes.
Excellent.
Nice as
Of
fuck.
course, now that we said that, we're all going to be accused of being far right extremists.
I'm fine
Terrible,
with that.
terrible.
Yes, and
Fuck it, fine.
At this point, it's as useful to call me a far right extremist as it is to call me a racist, as it is to call me a member of a rape culture, as it is to call me a member of any other ist or phobe or ism that you'd like to name. Because
You mean
you've
something that
used
ends in a
those
response
words
of yes and?
exactly.
Pretty much.
But at this point, they've sucked the power out of language so hard because they constantly redefine it. The moment someone says you're a racist, I'm going to go, okay, so point me out a woman.
yeah, it's like I'm already racist. Let's make me sexist too. I mean, why not? It's getting to that level.
Transphobic too.
Yeah.
Let's
Well,
triple down.
Well, at this point, I'm rapidly getting to the point where someone says you're racist. Shut up, Nate.
It is getting to that point where it's like, oh well, thank you for noticing.
Thank you. I've been working hard to achieve this righteous title.
Yep. Thank you, Primed, for the article here, or not? Student.
Yes, and
Student or Primed?
before we get into the article, I just
Sorry.
want to congratulate Primed on being part of a very based
Student.
nation.
Student of history.
Oh man, look at this. The EU Parliament for declaring Hungary as a non-democratic nation. Only Swedish Democrat representative said nay. Oh,
So,
the EU Parliament is a joke.
yeah. I presume tomorrow's Sultan stream will touch on some of the excellent news out of Sweden. Then.
Yes, we will have a special guest to tell us all about it.
Excellent.
Yeah.
We will have a Swede to tell us about how happy he is.
Oh,
Yay.
no, the Swedish invasion.
The invasion has begun.
So this will be the start of a
No,
30-year
he's a
stream.
real Swede, not a culturally
All
enriched
blonde and
Swede.
blue-eyed. Yes. That student of history says you're far right. And his response is, yeah, sure, why not?
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, if Jordan Peterson's far right, so fuck it.
Why not?
Gods.
I mean, far right anymore basically means somebody who doesn't have any compulsion about saying, yeah, this is wrong. And that's it.
Yeah. Someone who's willing to tell the truth no matter who's listening.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, at this point, far right just means correct.
Yeah. Exactly.
Pretty much.
Yeah. The most correct. The furthest right.
You're far right, yeah, but far right means that you're against cutting the tits and dicks off children, or exposing them to strip shows. Like, fuck it, fine.
Yeah, it's like, oh, I'm not
I
going
see
to
no
abuse
issues
children.
in this one. Said no one ever.
Yeah. So let's see. Let's get into this no cash bail a little bit. Let's see.
No cash.
Talking about the fictional universe of The Purge, yada yada yada. But on January 1st, 2023, at midnight, a very real version of the Purge will be enacted by the 2021 SAFE-T Act law, Safety, Accountability,
outside.
Fairness, and Equity Today Act. Will completely eliminate cash bail for a majority of defendants charged with criminal acts. Judges will decide whether or not to release defendants on a case-by-case basis, based on if they feel the person poses a threat to the community or is a flight risk.
So they'll release everyone.
Well,
Unless
it's
they're right wing.
yeah. This actually I find kind of the dark side of this is there's either bail or no bail, so they could just lock people up and give zero fucks about it. And
Yeah, but you know they won't be allowed to do that.
no, but it's like, oh, look at this right-wing Facebook post. See, we're not.
Far right means non-progressive.
Yeah,
Far
pretty
right
much.
is anti-child mutilation. Therefore, I accept my position with glee.
based. So, we're not talking about
Yeah,
non-violent
absolutely.
crimes like, say, jumping a railway turnstile or even stealing food from a grocery store. There will be no bail or automatic detainment. Key for second-degree
Stealing food from a
murder.
grocery store is not a violent crime.
Yeah. So
It's stepping an inch to the left from being a violent crime.
Hey,
everything's
officer, I didn't kill him. I just stabbed him in the neck.
Yeah, well, I mean, you've got kidnapping, armed robbery, drug-induced homicide, aggravated DUI. These are not automatic detainment for second-degree murder, for this sort of thing. What?
Fucking hell.
Hardened criminals will be
Inclusive.
charged with everything from threatening a public official to armed burglary to arson and embolden him empowered, according to this article. To make matters worse, offenders released on electronic monitoring devices must be in violation of their parole for 48 hours before it will be considered a crime. State's largest county, Cook County, encompasses Chicago. At any given time, there are 3,000 people wearing ankle monitors, include 100 who have been charged with murder.
Fucking hell.
I mean, there's a reason why Chicago was burned by a cow back in the 1800s. Mrs. O'Leary's
Wait,
cow
what?
needs to return.
Based cow, I was about to ask you.
Yeah. I just find it ironic that it's like the Safety Act. And this is I think this is a good thing to point out. So you've heard the tone of the article, and then you've got the picture of the author here on the right with the hat, and his brother Christian, who was tragically shot in June this year by an unidentified assailant. So this isn't somebody that could be labeled with the the racist stuff and all that. This is a man who's lost his brother, who's speaking out against this bullshit.
So, white supremacist.
Yeah,
Of course.
Uncle Tom, white supremacist, all because this chinless bastard is like, oh, I'm going to reform everything because the guy beside me has the ILB something, fake African colors on him, where a man who's experiencing the violence is like, no, this guy's an Uncle Tom. Fucking hell.
Hey, ho, ho, this something has something, ho.
Yes, ho.
Pretty much.
And yeah, as of August 2022, overall violent crime is up 36% in Chicago.
I wonder how that happened.
But did it though?
Actually, here's a flip side of violent crime's down in Florida.
I wonder why.
Because, there's several reasons. One, unemployment's down, homelessness is down, lawfully armed citizens is up.
Based?
Okay, so what you're telling me is that if people are in general happy, safe, and have a job, they won't do any crime?
Yeah, exactly. And this is part of my argument in favor of some welfare.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's not necessarily about the benefit of the person receiving it. It's about the fact that if they need, people need, in the modern society, people need some money to live. And if they can't get it, they're going to steal shit. And if they're already if they're already stealing food What's to stop them from stealing things to sell for money?
Fair.
Nothing. So some limited welfare works really well at reducing the crime rate.
I think it
It's one of
has to
those
come with a
things
lot of
where
heavy.
If you get too much,
It's got to have a lot of heavy caveats though, and responsibilities to go with it.
yeah, absolutely,
And
absolutely. It needs to be handled competently as well, and it can't be passed off to private fucking companies, Australia.
which and there's a kind of tragedy there. In the past, a lot of the best charities have been private, but unfortunately now they're publicly traded entities and all this bullshit. Now, that's an exaggeration, of course, but it's just not. Private charity is not the gold standard which it used to be, and I think that's an unfortunate reality.
Well, charity used to be about charity. Now it's about we're totally a non-profit as the CEO walks away with $1 million a year.
Yeah, or multiple houses.
Mm-hmm. 3 houses, BLM bitch.
Mm-hmm. So, wow. So this is interesting. Looking at this article in whatever, like International Business Times or some damn thing, they're talking about murders have decreased by 17%, as has sexual assault, and a decline in aggravated battery. However, if you look down a little further, it talks about increases in robberies, burglaries, general theft, motor vehicle theft, so carjackings. So, while they're not necessarily more violent, there's more crime. And that's kind of an interesting distinction that has to be made, is people are getting more desperate overall, given the nature of the American economy right now.
Yeah. Also, I noticed that they're comparing it to 2021, the year of everything being fucked to heaven.
Oh yeah.
Compare the stats to 2019, you cunts. Go on, let's see how that works out for you.
Mm-hmm.
Here's a hint. Not well.
And
Actually,
we
can just look this up.
Let's see. Here we go.
Let's see. 2019 Chicago murders.
Let's see. Here's a comp stat from. Here we go. So, actually, 2021 was a worse year in a lot of ways. Surprisingly.
Well, actually, from the 31st of December 2019, 490 murders. How many are they up to already?
411. Yep.
Well done, Chicago. Well fucking done. So you're actually up on 2019.
Mm-hmm.
After 3 years of decreases, it's now gone skyrocketing thanks to
Bidenomics.
St. Floyd of the fentanyl and Bidenomics, and
Praise be.
screw you, we've made working illegal.
Yep. And I'm looking at the comp stat up here. It's there was a distinct decrease between 2018 and 2020, but it's rebounding remarkably since 2020. So yeah. And that's it. Student of history, I'm in favor of building a cottage on the side of a mountain with a fully stocked root cellar, 100 meters further up the mountain with food and any other equipment you need to survive there for a year. Just a year? I mean, that sounds like a lifestyle choice to me.
I mean, if I could get air conditioning in the cave, I'd be in a fucking heartbeat. Actually, caves are usually a lovely temperature.
Yes, yeah, and most caves actually in the past for certain national parks have been used as a source of air conditioning. Just a little high on the radon, but you know, that could be addressed fairly significantly.
Addressed with a dress.
Yes, and Ardent, while he's out for a smoke, is reminding everyone to beat the like button as if it owes you money. Fair point.
Doesn't it?
It does. It always does. So, ooh. Now this is kind of an interesting thing, and I've heard rumblings, and I'm sure everyone else has, about how officials pressured social media to suppress disfavored speech. Yeah, after the Biden-Reich speech.
We wouldn't have liked. Also, that's a First Amendment violation. That's straight up.
Exactly. Yep. Tech platforms are notoriously opaque, the White House complained last week, saying Americans deserve to know more about how online forums decide when and how to remove content from their sites. Yet the Biden-Reich routinely pressures social media companies to suppress speech it does not like. Hardly a model of transparency. Yeah.
Interesting.
This is really scary stuff when you just kind of dive into even the fact that they're bringing this up. If anyone's familiar with the 1917 Sedition Acts and whatnot here in the U.S., this is the sort of thing where they're going to start finding ways to criminalize speech that doesn't fit the narrative as some sort of way to say, no, this is destructive to the effort of the government to secure a better and more prosperous nation.
Don't you know?
Mm-hmm.
It's not something that I like. And so far, Landry and Schmidt have identified 45 federal officials who communicate with social media platforms about curtailing misinformation. Emails obtained during...
information we don't like, and things that have later turned out to be completely true.
Mm-hmm. And removal of specific messages and accounts have been part of this.
Well, that's undoubtedly First Amendment violation.
Mm-hmm.
We need us a class action.
Yeah.
We need to get a lot of shit to the Supreme Court
before it gets changed.
Before anything happens to our base friend, before he shoots himself in the back of the head 3 times.
Mm-hmm. Student of history, yes, we do deserve to know what you're ordering the media and social media to do and say. Yeah, exactly. This is a clear violation of really everything American culture has embraced over the last centuries. July 16, 2021, pederast accused Facebook of killing people by failing to suppress misinformation about the vaccines and all that crap. The same day, senior executive...
Yeah, because that's what they're failing to do. They're failing to suppress
Would that be like the one by... Oh, fuck, I've completely forgotten the name, because it's been banned for so fucking long in Australia.
Mm-hmm.
Because, it kept killing people. But no, that's just misinformation.
Yep.
Are you racist, bro?
Yes.
The truth is always according to these people. See, Murthy published an advisory when he urged a whole-of-society effort, possibly including legal and regulatory measures to combat the urgent threat to public health posed by health misinformation. Potato Head's homicide charge came the next day, and Meta was keen to address the president's concern by cracking down on speech that offended him.
It's everything that calls him what he is.
Mm-hmm. I mean, where are we going from here? That's kind of the question. It's like, what kind of bullshit is going to be introduced by way of soft fascism around the world?
Yep.
So that's
It's not even soft fascism. It's just straight up fascism.
true. I'm trying to make it less prickly for the YouTubes, but fuck it.
I mean, why not just call a spade at this point?
Yep. And student of history, it is fascism. The government and business working hand in hand to all but own, sell, and trade the U.S. people. Absolutely. They have entered the phase of fascism where the government is the supreme moral authority over all of society. And that's
Over which
blatantly
all
obvious here.
authority is born.
Yeah. It's not a good look.
Disgusting. Absolutely disgusting.
Let's see. White House, let's see. Social media companies have had First Amendment right to exercise editorial discretion. And there was a case recently I heard Styx talking about today, about 230, and making the distinction with a lot of these social media companies between editorial publication and platforms. And it should be interesting to see how that shakes out. Let's see, that's not what's really happening when their decisions are shaped by implicit or explicit threats from the government. Fascism yet again. The White House mentioned a few of those threats last week: antitrust regulation, privacy regulation, and fundamental reforms to laws that shields platforms from liability for content posted by users. Here we go.
How problematic.
Yeah, I mean, it's... This is not a good look for the future of the U.S. We're going to make Australia look like a free and just society by comparison, the way things are tracking.
I mean, just look at your leaders. It's kind of obvious at this point.
Ugh.
Once you get in a certain... But think about it like this. Once you get a certain orange man back, it's going to get better. At least, that's what I feel.
I mean, that's what we keep getting promised.
Peace.
And then we have Twitter gleefully reintroduced laws governing election misinformation as the social media site prepares for the midterms, the company said on Thursday. The shit in the streets Francisco-based tech giant will apply its civic integrity policy on the November 8th midterm elections, which I like so many YouTubers, will probably be doing a live stream for a bunch of that. The stated policy goal...
A lot of funny ones and a lot of pathetic ones.
Oh, that might be an interesting live stream.
Yeah.
But, election misinformation. You mean like the Hunter Biden laptop story that was
suppressed
at the request of the federal government? You know, directly in violation of the First Amendment. Oh, and turned out to be completely fucking true.
Surprising, isn't it?
We don't talk about the truth here. We don't talk about the truth.
You can't handle
we
the truth.
Expect fascism.
Nah, what are we? We're just some plebeians. We don't fucking know shit like this. How dare we?
Yeah.
Know our place.
Yes, indeed.
So ludicrous.
Let's see. Student of history, we have two winning cards: the Bill of Rights holding most of their hand back, and the Constitution giving the states a hand to even work with. Yep. 10th Amendment all day long.
I tell you what, with things like your Constitution, I'm so fucking tempted to do the Australian alternative to First Amendment auditing.
Ooh.
Because turns out, there's no expectation of privacy in public.
Hmm.
I don't know about being able to enter public buildings and film at any time, anywhere, but we can film in public, and the police can't really stop us.
Excellent. Yeah, that's...
Until they can stop you.
Well, no,
not
they
to mention,
can threaten and
unlike
request.
Unlike the fascist states of England, don't have to tell the cops my name unless they reasonably suspect me of committing an offence.
Mm-hmm.
And filming the police is not an offence.
I mean, you can be offensive, but you're not an offense.
Well, they haven't changed the law yet for offensive to be a crime.
Ooh.
Yeah, time.
Yet.
Yeah, yet.
Yeah.
And interestingly, Ardent has far more rights, at least in theory, far more rights than Australians, because the Charter of Rights and Freedoms that they keep stepping all over.
You mean the one
Technically allowed
Trudeau
to
wiped his ass with?
Yeah, that one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it is tempting to go around and film the cops, and when they're like, nah, suck a dick.
You're not allowed to do this because that is offensive.
I saw that sign before it disappeared.
You mean the one that I put back up?
Yes. It's not appearing on my Discord.
Huh.
What the hell is going on?
Yeah, that's a good question.
A good day for bad computers.
Yeah, well, it's definitely been a cluster of a stream.
Student of history says Bezic attempts to record cops or officials, gets jackbooted and sodomized by cops for reasons. Cops get a raise.
Oh, I'm sure they would definitely get a raise.
Oh, they get a rise.
Please didn't make good YouTube content.
Yeah, because the Aussie Cossack had such a fun time with it.
Oof.
That
He's
poor
out
bugger.
now.
Yeah,
Oh,
isn't he
that's good.
still under some sort of restrictions
Nope.
or something, though?
Really?
And the only reason they got him at all is because he was stupid enough to violate a court order against releasing the name of a pedophile.
Oh, for
Yes, those wonderful people must be protected.
at all costs.
We should. In fact, I think we should encase them all in lucite and protect them completely.
Yes,
Exactly.
protect them from God, everything in air, darkness. No, let them have darkness.
Oh,
Yeah,
they
we don't
are
want to
the
see that.
darkness.
Encase them in carbonite.
Ooh.
Yeah, but then Kathleen Kennedy will come in and revamp it and then make them the hero.
Yeah, no, I think the best choice is to try and fill in those tar pits and liberate.
Hey, at least we don't have to deal with their shit while they're alive.
Fair point. Fair point.
In Minecraft.
No, I have a solution for the energy crisis, and the crisis of G's that end with rumor. If we simply apply enough pressure and heat to the rumors that begin with G, we can solve the fossil fuel crisis because we have a new source of fossil fuel.
Oh.
I mean, I'm not suggesting we make pedo butter, but we could.
Yeah.
I mean, you can make oil. You can make a lot of things out of pedo bodies.
Skin for binding books.
Yep.
Books that say things like why you shouldn't be a pedophile.
Oh, yeah.
Make new copies of the Constitution out of Joe Biden's leathery skin.
God, it'd take forever. to sketch
It'll fall apart.
Yeah, there's that. It probably wouldn't. It probably wouldn't survive the stretching process.
Nothing with it would survive a stretching process.
He barely survives getting up in the morning.
Nancy Pelosi's
Yeah.
wrinkled fun bags would. Oh God, I'm sorry.
No, thank you.
What?
I did not need that mental image. You cursed motherfucker. Oh, okay. Great.
Told you I wasn't feeling
Now that
well
you
today.
gave me that mental image, I'm gonna share it with you, my friends. What I just imagined was Nancy Pelosi running slowly through a field with her so-called deflated fun bags waving in the air,
So
and
trying to
every
take flight.
other inch of skin.
Trying
Yes.
to take flight.
And then comes a gust of air and carries her away. All the while you hear,
Oh, hi, kitty. Say hello to everyone in chat.
oh, cute.
Oh, what the fuck?
I like kitty cats.
UCYB1 says being protected from the air is the only 100% safe way to guarantee you don't get COVID. This is true.
Prime Tonight has just posted a video. Some shitbag tried to grab the Queen's coffin, and the police actually did something useful for a change.
Beat the living shit out of them?
Ooh.
Sadly,
so.
not quite, but they have fucking arrested him. Oh, look! He is an Arab of peace.
Oh,
Mm.
of
Cat
course
off
he
the
is.
keyboard.
Bad kitty. Respect my authority. Baywatch DC. What?
Oh, cat.
Oh,
I need
no.
that mouse to
I think we
run
come back to the Nancy Pelosi thing.
You're a cursed
where
man,
did-
my friend.
Where did Prime Night post that? Was it in...
in live shows on Sultans.
okay.
I think that the guards did an awful job. They should have run him through with the bayonet.
Like the founding fathers intended.
Didn't those guys be
Yeah.
carrying sabers at this point?
Well, it depends. I on their branch because they've got the ceremony.
That's a good tackle, though.
Fucking oath.
Oh, wow.
That cop was not having his fucking shit. On today's episode of The Police Are Done With Your Fucking Bullshit. Now, that might be one of the few good cops in England.
Save it and then we can play it tomorrow as well.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's a nice little bit of nice little clip there.
Yeah,
They
what
voted
could he
for
have possibly
Biden
been
9
thinking he
times.
was going to accomplish?
He's an Arab of peace. Something stupid.
He was probably just
If he was that peaceful, he's
Put
been
him up on
driving
the
a
big
truck.
screen.
yeah. Yeah.
But he was clearly up to something stupid.
They always are.
They were up for some fuck.
I see you have the Amtrak. I have to stop watching and reconnect to the stream again.
Yes.
See you have the Amtrak headline up.
Yes,
and,
although I know
I-
there's some current developments about this, but
Yeah.
I
But when I first saw this headline, my first thought was, "Oh, they're going to derail a few, are they?"
I mean, it would probably improve Amtrak service. Because having taken a few trips on Amtrak, I will admit, if you can afford to pay for a better ticket, do so. Because there's nothing like...
I've never actually had the opportunity to travel on a train.
I did because it was cheaper than flying at the time. So, yeah, I took a commuter train up.
I'm not saying I wouldn't travel by train. It's just that there are no trains in Newfoundland.
What he's about to say next is it wasn't fucking worth the money he saved.
Well, no, it basically was like, yeah, okay, great. There's this, shall we say, specific ethnic couple who decided that dirty diapers were okay to have just wherever the hell they felt like it.
Ah, yes, I do believe you told me about that amazing experience in your life.
Yeah, so I quickly paid the
So
extra. Like,
what? You were traveling in steerage?
it felt like it. Yes.
They were fans of curry. They were fans of curry, weren't they?
Yes.
Oh, lovely.
All I could imagine was their relatives were riding on top of the train during most of that trip.
So what you're saying is they were push starts and not blah 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 blah.
Yes, that is
Yes.
correct.
Okay, just checking.
That was truly a horrific experience because they were only on the train long enough, basically, to go through from DC to Baltimore, and the diapers did not leave the train for the next 8 hours.
Full class.
Nasty fucking animals.
Yeah. So, I have strong opinions for very.
You can be whatever
good
color,
reasons.
but if you,
Yeah.
I mean, no, it's no matter the color though. You can find those
It's
kind
the
of
culture.
retards
It's
everywhere.
not. It's the culture. It always is the culture. You know, when people are of poor culture, I don't care what their skin color or ethnic background is, but when they're of poor culture, they make everyone suffer.
Yeah.
This is true.
I thought this was inclusive, my friends. What about inclusivity?
We include them in the category of animal.
Yeah. Speaking of inclusive, their famous white trash house in my travels. They lived across the street from this like really fancy, probably 8-bedroom mansion in the middle of Missouri, and their house was literally a yard of trash, and they had 2 children playing in these trash piles.
Oh, the misery.
Yes.
Let's not go to Missouri.
You'll get much misery in Missouri. So this is from about 5 days ago. Amtrak to begin canceling long distance trains on Tuesday. Washington, 12th
So
September.
what's their excuse?
Well, we will get into that.
On Tuesday.
So, Amtrak will cancel trips for 3 long-distance routes starting Tuesday because of potential freight rail strike later this week.
Aha!
So, because the way Amtrak is set up, because it's basically federally subsidized transport, they have to rent sections of track from the other major freight carriers. So, in the past, the freight lines were, the main transport, cross country. And back in the 60s, they started losing to air travel. And that's when Amtrak was created, and all but one of the major freight lines ended up buying into Amtrak. The exception was Norfolk and Western, which is now Norfolk Southern. So they technically could launch their own private rail line, but not going to happen with the way Amtrak's set up. So while we're hopeful the parties will reach resolution, Amtrak has now begun phased adjustments to our service in preparation for a possible freight service interruption later this week. Talks do not involve Amtrak or its workers, but a strike which could begin as soon as Friday, which I believe has been put off because of a agreement that's been reached, could significantly impact intercity passenger rail service in the Northeastern Corridor, Amtrak said. So, the big implication there, and why I've kind of been saying this article buried the lead by talking about Amtrak's being affected, is the fact that I believe it was up to 30% of all freight in the United States could be interrupted by this. And, student of history.
Excellent. That's if you didn't have a transport fucking crisis already.
Yeah. Student of history points out correctly, freight rail strike plus dock worker strike equals some folks going to have real pissed soon. Yeah. Yeah. This is automotive parts, this is food, this is a lot of stuff gets moved by rail. And once this gets interrupted, basically the US is fucked in a lot of ways. We've adopted the just-in-time delivery system, which I have always thought is a mistake personally. And
Yeah, it is.
the further we go
No,
down
I
this
want
path,
shit
yeah, one
fully in
hiccup,
advance.
one hiccup destroys everything.
Yep. Well, that's it. Like one hiccup, like 7 steps before you in the transport line can make you late.
Yep.
And you can lose money because some other idiot was delayed. No, I want, if I'm making something, I want what I need to make it in the fucking warehouse, ready to go in advance, some reasonable time in advance. So if something goes to shit down the line, I can still continue producing for a month and just order double or triple the next.
Mm-hmm.
But
And
no, that'd be sensible, and we can't have that.
sensible. I mean, but
Sense?
we've got to have a
You
leader
heathens.
drooling upon himself to make this make sense.
Ugh. Sensible. Oh, that's disgusting. How dare you?
So now this is the update from Thursday, but honestly, I'm less concerned about the fact that it didn't happen and more concerned about the fact that it even got this close. So the crappy news network, unions and management reached a tentative deal early Thursday, averting a freight railroad strike to cripple U.S. supply chains and push prices higher for many goods. And I just don't see this being averted long enough.
Do they plan to blame that on Ukraine as well?
Oh, undoubtedly.
Of course. It's Mr. Putin. I mean, it's Mr. Putin.
Yeah.
Bonjour, Monsieur
Putin.
Everard. Well, there's no Belgian flag because you haven't popped in.
Get in here.
Plus, I
Also,
have
Belgium isn't a real country.
No, it's just a land of good chocolate, French fries, and beer.
Not as much freedom, unfortunately.
No.
But he's not French, at least.
No, I mean he may speak the best version of the French language, but he's at least not French.
Small mercies in this world of horror that we live in.
I feel the need to disagree. I believe Quebecois to be the best version of French because it has the absolute best profanities.
It's because you're French. I mean, it's because you're, well, yeah, you're kind of French.
Let me tell you the real truth. All French is bullshit and needs to die.
Let's start
Agreed.
with the metric system.
Spoken like a British patriot.
So there's one thing that the French has done that none other has managed to match, and that is the beauty that is the bond DNA.
True.
I'll give you that.
Thought you were going to say elect a pedophile victim.
That's nobody
stayed
can beat
with
the
his
British
abuser?
in that, unfortunately.
And let's see. Student of history. In defense of freight workers, apparently they're contractually obligated to work 48-hour shifts.
Holy shit! Fuck
Based on a
that.
cartoon.
All right, that's pretty fucked up. And so,
I don't think you can legally oblige someone to work that long without rest.
Depends on the country.
There is some, ways that can be done. It has to be some sort of like important crisis going on, but
You can't get around it. And like you have to have shift breaks and things, but 48 hours is fucking ludicrous.
yeah. So
Like you really don't want people working longer. I mean, if you want to get the most out of people, like after about 6 hours, people's efficiency starts to nosedive, and after
True.
12 hours, they're barely useful. After 24 hours, they're an active fucking detriment.
Yep.
Also, see hospitals.
Let's see. Yep.
And don't get
Monsieur
and,
Everard.
you know what? Good. I will get.
That's
I will get while you're sending him links.
yes.
I will also get started on the goddamn fucking nursing crisis. We are over 2.5 years into this stupid fucking pandemic, and they're still going, oh, we don't have enough nurses. No, it takes 3 years to train a registered nurse and 18 months to train an enrolled nurse. We could, and if you're really desperate, because I don't know, there's a pandemic, maybe you can skip some shit, get some people out there. You could have them out in 2 years easily.
Yep.
You could at least have them practicing under supervision. And we've got a crisis. No one wants to do it. Well, maybe it's because they can't afford to quit a job to start studying. You want to spend some fucking money and actually achieve something? How about you pay them a fair wage to study, but contractually obligate them to work in the field in a location of the government's choosing for X period? Because they do that for a lot of things in a lot of places. Like, a lot of companies will actually pay for you to get a qualification as long as you work for them for X period after. But if you quit, you have to pay a prorated amount or something. Not fucking difficult.
Yep.
Using one says, don't paid firemen in large cities work 24 or 48 hour shifts. It's just that they need someone there, but they're not actually working the whole time. Yeah, that's true. Firemen, you often do 48-hour shifts. Difference is they get to sleep.
Yeah, they have rest schedules, and also technically aboard my boat, I am 24/7 on, but there's 24/7 on when it comes to security detail, and then there's 12 hours of work a day, but I can choose whether I want to do all 12 hours in if I do divided, but I'm not allowed to have under 7 hours of rest between my working shifts, if that makes sense.
Yeah, I think in Canada, if you work 12 hours, if you work 2 12-hour shifts, you have to have a 12-hour off in between.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, like, health and safety is ridiculous. Like, actually, I'm pretty sure I can just look it up.
Yeah. But yeah, it's just, I don't know. There's just something about the way this is all being presented just kind of makes me suspicious of the end goal with a lot of this.
Oh yeah, absolutely. What was I looking for?
For meatball?
No, I need to log into a super secret government thing. I just need.
Is it glows?
I'm actually not kidding. No, I'm just straight up not kidding. Well, as one of the things I do gets me access to certain government systems.
Okay.
Excellent. So I can just pull up the fatigue management policy.
Ooh.
Yeah, shiny.
I mean, that could be nice.
Oh, don't give me your something went wrong bullshit, Microsoft.
Something went wrong. You don't glow hard enough.
Yep.
Yes. Good old glowing resources.
Well, that's from the safe work. Includes absolutely nothing of value. Safety bulletin on fatigue management. Boring. Oh, interesting.
How so?
Right, so. Energex, the state/national people who maintain the grid, have a fatigue calculator.
Really?
Find out your likelihood of being fatigued in 3 easy steps. You put in your sleep history, sleep in the 24 hours before starting work, sleep in the previous 24 hours, and then a work time, and then it'll tell you your fatigue level.
Really?
So that's interesting.
Hmm.
Does it
That's
take
an
into
iffy
account the
little
type of work you're doing?
No.
Of course it doesn't.
Oh, that's a
I mean,
shame.
that's very wild and vast. Because don't forget, you can easily be as fatigued sitting at a desk as you can outside, just it's mental drain instead of physical. Unless you do something like actually being a firefighter, which is both.
Hmm.
Where the fuck is my fatigue management policy? Is this it? And yes, I am glowing. I'm just having a look at the fire department's policies.
Belsic, the ever glowing.
Yeah.
Unironically, I can do that.
I mean, that's got some value.
It could be worse. It's bad enough to be a glowy, but apparently Christopher Everard thinks that Trim is a trim former. Northern meets the boat.
Yes,
Well,
I
I
am
mean-
basically tidal wave.
Someone totally needs to animate that.
Yes, indeed.
Fucking glorious.
We need to draw Trim as a transformer, then animate him into a boat.
I'm okay with that. I'm very okay with that.
I was going to suggest we give him a third form as a frying pan.
Ooh.
Not a
Right.
frying pan, a coffee machine.
No,
Right.
or steak knife.
To be fair, if you're a chef, coffee machines do way more work than you do when it comes to making coffee.
Yeah, they're also the reason why people choose to work.
Well,
Without like half the kitchen would go on strike if we didn't have a functioning coffee machine.
And
the other
and
half would
problem
go on
is,
strike in sympathy.
Now the other half would be dead.
Oh, okay.
We
Okay,
would start murdering each
I'm
other.
still confused where the problem is here.
Exactly. The problem is that there would be more work for the rest of us, and the other half would be arrested.
Well, okay, I'll grant you that.
Yeah. And then the police would have to catch us.
I mean, you're on the high seas, aren't you?
Yar.
Blow like a rendil. Excuse me. Really need to reach for that mute button a little more often.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it does a body
Right,
good,
so,
I hear.
fatigue policy.
Mute.
Right.
The fuck
Will
is
you
a
fir-
mute?
Will you shut up and let me speak?
Which is also known as Besic finding Trim's mute button.
I haven't given that
Happened
power
way
over
too many
yet.
times. Don't give him that power. You know he will abuse it.
Well, that's the point.
Anyway, I just need to say this before we get off topic because it's not too long. So, for your first shift, you can work 17 hours, including travel. Then you need a 9-hour break. Then for your second shift, you can do 12 hours with a 9-hour break. For your third shift, do 12 hours. Then you take a 14-hour break, and you're back to 17 hours.
Hmm. Interesting.
And that is for
That is for...
Well, he finished with physically demanding work.
physically demanding work.
He was dropping out of touch at the end.
The kind of work we don't do.
The dropping out
I
work?
mean, I do it from time to time. I did it more many kilos ago. I need to lose some weight and do more of that shit.
I need the price of lumber to come down so I have to carry heavy things again.
Oh, what is
That'd
the
be
price
nice.
of lumber in Canada right now?
If I were to check the local hardware store, which is where I
It's
would have to
25 S and 1 maple syrup.
go. You forgot the 3/4 moose skin.
Hmm.
Ah, shit. I always forget those.
Hey, that does
Yeah.
happen.
Always why I
let's
fail
see
in the
here.
Canadian stock market.
I have to apologize to Bezic and Trim at this point because I am going to slip into Imperial. Okay, that's got to be a bad error. I was looking at the price for a 2-inch by 6-inch by 96-inch kiln dried spruce stud. The price says $1 million each.
Holy
What?
shit.
Well, technically it says 999,999 each. I'm going to screen cap that because I'm pretty sure someone fucked up somewhere. There's no way it's that high.
I'm guessing that they're out of stock, but rather than saying out of stock, they've set the price ridiculously high because they're wanks.
Normally it says out of stock, but this may just be a fluke that I came across here. I've got it screen captured anyway. I'll throw it up in a minute. Let's see. Okay. I have to go with that one after all. Come on. One of the things I really hate about some of the websites of these. Okay, let's
Abominations?
try. These businesses is that they're not done particularly well. Yeah, and I just tried another. It's a 2x4 by 8 foot dried economy spruce, and it says item not available. Check availability at other stores. So I don't know what the last thing was that I was looking at, but that's interesting.
The fuck was that?
Okay, I'm not finding that, so let's try a different company.
A spruce stud?
2x4.
So.
Oh, okay. Apparently I can't find studs anywhere anymore.
Ah, well, you always had a stud problem.
I mean, there's one in my chair, but
Hey.
oh wow, everybody's going robotic, so it must be me.
Probably.
Beep. Boop. Beep.
I will doctor up that screenshot I took a minute ago and send over to you guys.
Doctored?
Now I'm curious.
Doctor, please.
You've distracted Monsieur Everard about thinking like a teenager. He can't think of anything but wood.
Well, guys, it looks like the time has come for me to visit some people. I am in my hometown and visiting friends and family. So I will now take my leave very soon.
You keep
God,
promising
as
this,
long as
but
I
you never
figure
do.
out how this shit works. I know it's one of my greater gifts. I'm the gift that always gives until I suddenly don't give.
Yeah.
No, not saying that. Not saying that. Be nice.
What? What? Say it. Say it.
Nothing.
Say it.
Oh,
Say it.
I might have been calling you a horrible name.
Uh-huh.
But
You're not
in
the first, you know.
Newfoundlander.
Oh God, no! I'd never call him anything like that.
You were going to
okay,
call him a
respectable, I guess.
Trudeau-faced little man.
You, American, are living a very dangerous
I
life.
would never say such a thing because, as far as I'm concerned, that's fighting words.
You got to get over to
Those
the
are
States first.
fighting words. Uh-huh.
Fair point.
Very true.
Okay.
Which I plan to one day.
Yeah.
I'm coming for you, boy.
Okay, that screenshot is in the video chat there now.
All right.
Nice.
Wow. Literally $1 short of $1 million.
Yeah, like that's insane, and it has to be a mistake of some kind. Because I'm not paying $1 million for one fucking stud.
Wow.
I thought that was really cheap if we're using that is not in current value. That is the value for next week after Trudeau is done with his ship.
Well, possibly.
Hmm.
Yeah, I think Trudeau may be putting a quiet kibosh on our forestry industry as well.
Oh, I wouldn't
Surprise
be
me.
shocked.
I mean, he is shooting your fucking farming industry in the head. Why would he stop there?
Well, he
Yeah.
already killed our oil industry pretty badly too.
I mean, he's
Trudeau,
killed
the
every
Great Destroyer.
Canadians.
Yeah.
Oh, he'll get there.
It's a damn shame what has been gotten away with by these people.
Yep.
Oh yeah.
And
Well,
it's the attitude like Carl had on Friday that lets them get away with it.
Yep.
Don't accept anything fucking dicking with your fucking rights.
Nope.
Nice.
No.
Well, have a nice
No,
one,
especially
guys.
when
I'll
they
see
tell
you
it's
later.
for your own good.
Yeah. See you, Trim.
Oh, that's horrible.
Thanks for
See you, Jim.
clustering in.
Bye.
Hey, Trim. Guide to the sheep for me.
You're very welcome. Being a cluster is something I'm really good at.
Yes.
Bye.
Bye.
And I will have to go in about 15 minutes.
Oh, that's fine.
Or
I'm,
something.
I will take the opportunity to go back.
Or fortunately, depending on one's point of view.
Same difference. Hopefully, chat's been enjoying the absolute chaos of this stream.
Oh yeah, this has been slightly mental.
Slightly.
Well, slightly more mental than usual.
Yeah.
Student of history asks, is chopping down forests green halal? It's probably kami kosher. I don't know.
I mean, it could be special.
Yeah, that's an extremely insane price.
Yeah, that has to just be a placeholder. I'm hoping it's a placeholder. And Arden
You'd think so.
I mean
I don't know what the hell's going on with my Discord today. That's twice it's disconnected me.
It's kind of been a clustery kind of stream anyway, so I don't think it matters too much.
Yeah. Yeah. Right now I'm having to depend on YouTube to show me what you're actually streaming.
Oh, you can't actually see it?
No, it's doing that constant little
Oh.
square, big square rotating thing.
Ah, fun.
Oh dear. It's nice to see someone else suffer with the internet.
Yeah. On the upside, it's 720p and 30 FPS.
Oh,
It's not doing me much good when I can't cracking a slide.
Yeah, don't tolerate any infringements because they'll go until you push back, then they'll step back, then they'll go until you push back and step back.
Yep.
No, anytime they fucking encourage, slam them back 2 steps from where they started.
And this gets into the way they frame everything. Oh, it's reasonable, it's nonpartisan or bipartisan and things like that. And it's like, it's all about control. And until recently, I don't think most people had realized how far that rabbit hole had already been gone down.
Yes, stuff them all.
Because I when I talk to those the boomers and the older crowd, politics of this scale was something kind of foreign to them in a lot of ways, and I don't think they understand that we've kind of gone back into the early 20th century politics where
Pretty much.
Yeah,
If
and
by which you mean 1930s Germany.
no, I'm actually speaking of 19 teens U.S. because there was a lot of terrorism being done in that time.
By
Speaking
women.
of terrorism, there is the Belgian.
Ah,
And
bonjour.
suffragettes. I mean, hi, Christopher.
I'm coming to conquer your land.
Yeah.
Did you bring beer and fries?
Depends. Is it $1 million like the piece of wood?
Isn't that
Yes,
insane?
but adjusted to Biden inflation levels.
Oh yeah, so it's like 3 million.
Exactly.
For the record, you cannot conquer Canada with beer and French fries. We have better beer and poutine. Sorry.
Which is French fries with gravy and cheese.
Yes, pretty much.
Or we could go fries, dressing, and gravy, which is the Newfoundland staple, which basically puts chicken stuffing in instead of the cheese curds.
But why?
Don't knock it till you try it. It's actually really good.
Granted, I've tried many a strange dish in my day, so I'd probably be like, yeah, this is fantastic, but at the same time, why?
I know.
Who thought that was a great idea?
I have no idea.
Framing to me is this is scientifically proven, and the experts have spoken. You lose me at that point. One, fuck the experts. Two, this is scientifically proven. Can I see the science? No. Right, so you're lying. Fuck off.
The experts have spoken. Yes, science doesn't operate on the same principle as democracy. Fuck right off.
Yep.
Exactly. But like,
Communists have been a participant in the First World War. Yeah.
like when they're sitting there going, "Oh, are you a scientist?" I don't need to be a scientist to read a fucking study.
Yep.
Show me the study.
Yeah, you don't need to be a biologist to identify a woman either.
Exactly.
Well, I don't know. I mean, we are talking that this exists.
I was wondering if that was going to come up today.
I've seen
Fucking
that also.
Christ, what is wrong with these people?
Mental illness.
Yeah, no. I could no. You have to understand. I could understand, the wanting to be a different gender. That may be. I know. Just bear with me. I could understand the wanting to be a different gender. I could. But if you're going to be a different gender, why would you want to be a caricature of that gender? Why would you want to be cartoonishly different?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, that's it. Like, compare Blair
Also,
White to
I
that
wonder how they
woman.
haven't cut the nipples off themselves
God.
yet with that friggin' miter saw.
Compare Blair White to that abomination. Blair White's made the effort to look as much like what they want to be as possible.
Oh,
Exactly. Yeah,
That
Blair
thing's
White
just-
is no way a caricature of womanhood.
Mm-hmm.
you mean this miter saw ardent?
Yeah, I was scared when I saw that. I was like,
I can't even. I see no eye protection.
I mean, it's
That's your
probably
occupation.
the
Distance is all the eye protection.
yeah. Oh no, it's there. It's barely on there.
God, it moves. God, it moves.
God, it's so ugly.
Oh,
Let's see if it floats.
Oh,
whatever, just
God.
move it. Yeah, I'm with you, Prime.
to my opinion, because I can understand the appeal and the desire to have like giant honkers, but on the other hand, it's like it's not medical or anything. It's just like some kind of fetishes or kink or I don't know.
It's straight up a fetish
yeah.
Yeah.
or a gynophilia.
Yeah, definitely.
It's a, now this is something I'm curious is are they it almost looks like there's a prosthesis on the face, but I'm not 100% sure.
Well,
that
what
would be a verbal diaper.
No.
believe
It's like
just hideous.
it's like there's something not right with the way the face moves. So it's like, are they wearing something
No,
on
there's
top?
not.
Okay.
I don't know what it is, but that face is wrong. I think they're fat.
Mm. but clearly the kind of shop teacher that everyone needs.
So in history says Blair White is the Y bone. If you didn't know who Blair White was, you'd be uncomfortably interested. Well, that's the point.
Yeah.
Well, that's the thing. The penis knows whether you look like a woman.
Yep.
And the penis knows that that's fucking hideous. And
It's gone from an Audi to an Indy.
Yeah, Primed has said that size triple F plus is insane. What are you, a Barbarella sex doll? Even Barbarella was not particularly large in the chest. She was larger than average, certainly, but not massive like Kardashian level. For
Not
example.
cartoonishly
I'm
large.
pretty sure Barbarella was real.
Yes, not cartoonishly.
Might be thinking it's a different one.
Hmm.
Because there were a few of those back in the day.
You might be thinking about Elvira. Elvira was almost cartoonish.
Oh no, I wasn't thinking about Elvira, but I'm
Well,
glad
you
you
are
mentioned
now.
it.
Oh, Bessic's got some work for later.
But no, there were a few that were kind of like Barbarella. But yes, I think I've seen some of the. I think I've had the movie on in the background while I was doing something actually interesting, because it's certainly not worth listening to.
No.
Well, I mean, even some of the old Carry On movies, they had some very busty girls in that, but even they weren't cartoonishly busty.
Yeah, they also had more plot than every movie released this year.
Fair.
I'll defend
I
Top
mean
Gun
actual
Maverick, but
plot.
that's the only one.
You haven't seen Top Gun Maverick. The Terminal List was amazing, though.
Oh yeah.
I've put Top Gun Maverick in the same box as everything else.
I would recommend you watch it with the context of the original movie. But is it as great as I'm making it out to be? Probably not, but I've been starved for half decent pro-American cinema for almost a decade. So
The thing with Top Gun Maverick is that it came out in a time period where everything is either political or just plain mediocre. And just having a nice, good movie, not excellent, but pretty nice, enjoyable, entertaining, it blew everything. It's top record sale or anything. It's just a nice movie to enjoy.
yes.
And this is enough for most people.
It's a good, I'd put it in a popcorn movie kind of realm where it's not necessarily the most
but
artistically
one.
engaging, but it's very good.
The thing I like with Top Gun Maverick is that there is no villain or no bad guys or anything. It's just guys with planes, and the suspense, the attachment to the character, are they going to make it? Are they going to fail? XYZ is going to die or not? You are taken by the movie. It got you in a way, and I quite like that. I think it's a performance in a time where, as I said, everything is political or just bad.
Yes. Yeah. And
it's going to get worse by the day.
Oh yeah. And I think for me it's one of those movies that really stands out in that it engages its audience rather than insults it. Where you get a lot of sequels where it's like, oh yeah, remember this thing, and there are a few moments in Top Gun Maverick, but it's not an overwhelming. You must recognize this, for it to be valid. There's context.
There
without
is
it being...
one thing. There is one thing that I thought that they've done amazingly in the movie, is the feeling of the energy and the stress and the power of being in an airplane. You can feel the tension the pilot experience in the cockpit, and it gave so much strength in the movie, the character, the crazy shit they do in the plane, like the mission. I'm sure you know what I'm talking about. You can feel that just by watching it.
Yes.
And it's been a while since I've saw such. You can feel the strength and the pressure they experience. Like in the first scene with the high-tech plane, you almost felt the pressure on your chest when you're watching it.
Oh yeah, and I have the benefit of talking to a friend who is a naval aviator. He was ranting and raving at how good it was just because it was filmed in a cockpit.
Yes.
Yeah. Now, other plot
Sorry
elements, he
for
was
the
kind of
segue.
like, well, maybe not, but it's like, but the visceral part, that's what he just
Yeah.
absolutely loved. So yes, Bezic, there's no excuse.
You didn't like the
Or I
movie,
could
Bezek?
just not. I didn't watch the movie. I stopped watching movies because I haven't seen a good one in years.
Okay.
Ah,
Haven't seen a mediocre one in years.
But as Adam said, and I think it was me who advised him to watch the Terminalist, is a very good show. Kind of for military, or at least trying to shed some light on some topic about soldier. And recently, well, for years, there's Cobra Kai who came out, and it's just amazing. It's very, very good. If you like the original movie Karate Kid, you will love Cobra Kai.
See, that's the problem.
Yeah. But I'm not saying you have to watch the first movie to enjoy it. It's the opposite, because it's almost a standalone. It's very nicely done in a way that you don't need anything from the other movie, because they explain everything. They give like flashback of, oh, you remember this item? Oh yeah, I remember. And there's a flash for 1 or 2 seconds, so you can more get what is going on in the movie. But Cobra Kai, if you like good old martial arts movie, like student-teacher relationship, stuff like that, it's very good, very, very good. So there is hope.
I can actually give Bezic a pretty good recommendation about the Terminal List. The Terminal List reminds me of 80s movies, things like
Yes.
Commando.
yes.
So if you enjoyed Commando, you will enjoy the Terminal List.
Every movie,
that's
like with Steven
actually
Seagal, Van Damme,
recommendation.
Stallone.
What was that, Bezic?
Now that's actually a recommendation.
Oh yeah, no,
It
it's
very much reminds me of the old 80s movies aesthetics where men were men. Revenge was actually a valid reason to do something.
The
No,
dark one.
you will enjoy the Terminal List. You will have to give it, if you're not into psychological thriller sorts of things, give it 2 episodes. And if you're not interested, then I would understand if you didn't keep watching. But if you get to the 4th episode and you don't end up wrapped up completely in the story, I would be absolutely
Yeah.
shocked.
yeah.
Forget about it. And the thing is with the revenge theme that you spoke about, Alan, is that it's one of the few times when revenge is talked about in a deep way, because it's quite easy to tell a story about revenge, but not getting into it really, because you can see in John Reese' character and amazing Chris Pratt performance that he, at every single step, he don't want to take this route, but he's obliged to. He has to. He has no choice. But you can feel the tension and the dilemma in his mind at every second of what he's doing.
You can see, and I mean, Chris Pratt does an amazing job just
Yeah.
as an actor, let alone as an action actor.
Yes, and I think the thing that I'm always surprised about with Pratt is I don't watch a movie or show like this with him in it and automatically say, oh yeah, that's Chris Pratt. He really does do the characterization more justice than I expected from a man who started off as a goofball with Parks and Rec.
And one of the things I mentioned in the video where I was talking about is how it's reminiscent of Robin Williams, his acting chops later on. And if I had been thinking a little more thoroughly about other comedians, I would have mentioned Jim Carrey in things like The Man in the Moon or The Truman Show. Those, while The Truman Show is a little more comedic, but that the ability of a comedic actor to step out of their role as a comedian and actually do serious stuff continuously amazes me.
Yeah, 'cause it's a hard talent to master both a comedic and serious role.
See why I'd be the one is recommending that we all watch Valhalla Rising. I've seen it, and I do recommend it. It's Mads Mikkelsen, and it is damned good.
Ooh.
Another great actor.
Yes,
Atlas.
and versatile actor.
You've
If
seen
I can,
go busy.
if I can drag the topic away from movies specifically, there's some upcoming games from fucking Ubisoft that,
Ooh.
well, that worth talking about at least.
All right.
There
First
is
off-
Skull and Bones, which is a pirate game.
Nice. I haven't played a good pirate game since what, Black Flag.
Yeah. I mean, my first reaction to the trailer is, oh god, the main character's black. Though I don't know if they're going to go with woke bullshit. But then again, maybe if it's in the Caribbean, it's valid. There might be some interesting stuff they could do with the plot. I don't know. I don't trust Ubisoft.
Yep.
But also, if I can at least blow up some shit with some naval cannons.
Fair.
But by the way, but it might be worth. Still, it's certainly worth having a look at, or anyway, because, fuck you, I want to blow things up with cannons. Then there is a new Assassin's Creed game been announced.
When's
And
the?
this one-
Oh, go ahead.
And this one looks like a return to tradition.
Ah.
It's set in Florence, and you get to meet Mario.
And his brother
Proper
Luigi.
tradition.
Yeah, no. In the second Assassin's Creed game, there is actually a character who is named Mario. He's the uncle of the protagonist, if I remember right. And he says, "Don't you remember me? It's me, Mario."
Oh
It was
my lord.
one of my favorite Easter eggs in a video game ever.
Well, it's nice. It's fun.
Do you know when this one is set, Bezic?
Yes, it is set in.
Belgium.
But
No,
I've
it
got
is
Bezic.
set in 9th century Baghdad.
oh, interesting.
Baghdad. So that's Persian
So
Empire.
it's like a Mujahideen or something like that.
Yes,
Quite nice.
which inspires me because hopefully it means that the combat will also return to tradition. Because the combat in the most recent Assassin's Creed games has been fucking dog shit. Well, actually, it's not that bad, but it's not fucking Assassin's Creed. Assassin's Creed is not about smashing things in the face with axes and having big fuck off shields.
No, that's not exactly stealth.
It would be nice to have. It would be nice to have Assassin's Creed game like in very good old medieval times, like in France or Germany, even Spain.
I could even make a case for having one set in the First World War.
Possibly.
Yeah.
Possibly.
I think they almost did that. Or
Really?
did they? They did.
Yeah,
No,
there's
there
a
was
Russian one.
development, right?
Oh, okay.
Assassin's Creed Chronicles.
Okay.
Hmm.
Syndicate was kind of
Chronicles.
close to that era.
Syndicate was dog shit.
I never played it, so
Yeah, Assassin's Creed Chronicles. I think it's the Chronicles games.
I played
Da, da, da,
one,
da.
which I didn't like, 2, 3, and 4. All of those I enjoyed very immensely. Brotherhood, I think,
Yeah.
was in between 3 and 2.
Oh,
Assassin's Creed Chronicles Russia, set in early 20th century Soviet Russia in the aftermath of the October Revolution of 1917.
Nice.
I could probably get into that. As you can see, I've
Featuring the Tsar's youngest daughter, Anastasia. Uh-huh.
Oh yeah.
it's gonna get into
see.
that then.
9th century Baghdad. Isn't that going to be a period where the Mongols might be invading?
I have no idea. Actually, it could be, judging
Yeah,
by
I
some of
think-
this. But
It would be nice also.
looks like a proper Assassin's Creed.
it would be nice also to have like Mongolian assassins, and it's not historically inaccurate because Mongolian had something like assassins.
Well, in this one, the character's name is Basim, and you are very, very clearly a Baghdad kind of native.
Mm.
Oh, okay. Persian.
Born
then.
in Samara. He's Persian.
So that would have been. Oh gosh.
There's also the possibility for what was the Mughal Empire being involved as well.
Hmm.
So you may get assassins with Qatars and Chakram. God, I hope not.
Yeah.
I do not want to play a Hindi Xena.
Well, let's see. I thought the Mughals were later, like by about a century. But
Yeah.
I can't remember
So
100%.
it is set in Baghdad, which is all tolerable. Baghdad was actually of value to the world in the 800s.
Yeah.
It was a center of science and commerce.
Yeah, because they were being all gay in Europe at the time.
Yeah.
Oh, being bashed around by Vikings will do that to you.
Apparently, Prime Knight said that Basim was in Valhalla as an NPC.
Oh. And student of history, Islamic Golden Age centered in Baghdad. Yeah, I kind of remember some of that.
Yeah, I mean, it sounds pretty good. Like that's where Assassin's Creed's set in my mind.
And
yeah, same.
just
Why not
trying to remember
2002 Baghdad?
my real life history. That was with the Hashashin with the old man and the mountain. Is that time period as well? But yeah, my memory on some of that Crusader history is a little muddy.
Okay, gentlemen, as it's been a little bit longer than I intended to stay, I will be dropping out right about now, and wish you all a good day.
Yeah, well, thanks for coming
Have
in,
a
Arden.
nice one,
See you
Arden.
later.
Thanks for having me. I will see you guys tomorrow.
I will send you a link for talked about maybe interview or things like that because I have an idea or two to submit to you, Arden.
Okay.
So I will send you a DM later that day.
Okay, excellent.
Have a nice one.
Go handle your
By
wood,
the
Arden.
way, guys, if you didn't know, Saladin, like the big guy in Muslim history, he died in 1193. So if it's in the ninth century, it will not be with him, but more or less the time period, like before the Islam have a big empire.
Yep. Yeah, because this is the early Caliphate period, if I remember right.
Yeah, so it should be all nice and schmancy.
It's supposed to be. Yes, Assassin's Creed Mirage. So there we go.
Yeah. And unfortunately, the Master Assassin is a woman, but I mean, we might be able to get away with that. It makes more sense for a woman to be an assassin than it does for them to be a hulking great Viking smashing things with an axe.
True. And
I could see a convincing argument for a female assassin.
And I if done right, it's not going to distract. It's just a matter of will they do it right. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's still
Probably not.
kind of forced to my taste, but it can
I
be.
mean,
Like
at
it's
this-
yeah, go on.
at this point, I've given up pretty much entirely on plots from Ubisoft, but I
Fair.
mean,
But-
I'll take some decent assassin gameplay.
I can, as you said, I can see the argument, for example, like with the poison, the brewing of potion, stuff like that. I can see it's like a secret of woman or, a wizard or stuff, and
Yeah,
women
I mean,
have.
I can also see a woman sneaking around, maybe doing some parkour, jumping on a guy and stabbing him in the throat.
Yeah.
Or maybe even using a small blade like they're showing there.
Yeah.
Like, that's at least not insane.
Well, wait and see again, as always.
Yeah, as long as they don't come out with the old chestnut of, well, if you don't like it, don't buy it. As soon as that happens, it's like, yeah, whatever it is, I don't care whether I'm interested or not. It's out of my wheelhouse.
A student says a woman in Islam being the leader of something. I feel like the enriched cultures will have concerns. Well, fuck them. If it pisses them off, it must be good.
Yeah. So there we go. Another recommendation. So let's see. Well, and as everyone probably saw earlier, a Sanzo front has been released, and with the World War I gaming, which I do highly recommend. It's a little bit of a learning curve initially, but it is a fantastic game, and I've contributed
was the
with
name
some
of
of
the
the
game again?
historical accuracy with previous games.
What was the name of the game?
It's Isanzo Front, World War II, or World War I, and it's a part
How
of
the
a
hell do you
series
spell that?
of ISONZO.
ISO. Yep, here we go.
I'm always kind of disappointed when someone make a game about World War One and doesn't mention Belgium. And I'm serious this time. It's not a joke because
No.
Belgium heavily contributed in the victory of the First World War.
I would say they were probably the most critical battleground that was fought by in most of
Yes.
the English-speaking world.
The
Interesting.
is
Those
like
graphics look like Call of Duty from like 10 years ago, but
Yes, well,
If-
they
if
started
the
out as
gameplay
an
is all right,
independent
okay,
studio
right.
and finally got their stride. But they,
Yeah, sandbags.
if I remember right, in the original,
but it's sorry to interrupt, Beze, but is it focused on Italy?
the
No, that's
Isanzo
Bleach, it's his
front
guy.
is, but they also have Verdun, which
Okay.
was their original game, which included Belgian forces,
Okay.
and then they have Tannenberg, which is the Eastern Front.
Oh, that one.
So they're doing like expansion and stuff.
Yes, yeah, it's like they took the
Verdun
base
and
game and then
Tannenberg.
developed a lot more modes of gameplay with this. So
I had a try at one, possibly both of them, and I really did not like Verdun or Tannenberg.
Mm.
Really did not like them at all.
I'll be honest,
What is the gameplay?
I haven't played it in a while. But I did a lot of the beta testing with it and started criticizing a lot of their historical accuracy several years ago, which they fixed. But that was the time when you could actually function without somebody just spamming the artillery the entire time.
I'm curious about the gameplay. Like, is it objective focus or
It
deathmatch or Team Squad.
It's typically like objective focus where each team is trying to take a certain sector, and
Okay.
it's kind of interesting. If you can get it for cheap, it's probably worth trying. That was Verdun. Tannenberg, I think, was more like position focused, and Isanzo, I don't know because it just came out the other day. So I'm going to spend my money and see what it's like.
It's online only.
I believe so. Although I've heard rumors of them trying to do a single player campaign, but I've heard those campaigns for quite a while, so I don't believe that that's the case. Let's see.
Because I'm looking to some nice game. To be honest, I kinda miss the good old FPS campaign mode. For example, Call of Duty, which is the most known.
Mm.
And to be honest, the campaign for like what's the big game they did with the traitor like lieutenant, or I don't remember the name. Modern Warfare, yes, that's what I meant.
Yep.
The campaign was very nice, very enjoyable. Kinda a walk in the park, but still fun and enjoyable. And I kinda miss that in FPS game.
Yeah, it all seems to have shifted heavily to online gaming, which that's fine. It's got its space, but I really like yourself. I really like the single player campaigns because they could do so much development.
Yeah, and it's a very hard missed opportunity in historical game.
Yes. I think that's Call of Duty when it was not what it has become, and Medal of Honor were both fantastic in that regard.
Oh yeah, Medal of Honor, the very old one.
Yes.
They were hard as fuck. I still have nightmares of the spy mission. Oh god.
Let's not talk about that. That does not exist in my headcanon anymore.
God.
And then Prime Night, Hell Let Loose. Yes, that is a fantastic game. It definitely works if you have squad mates rather than just soloing it, because I get into a lot of these games and I just want to explore the map just for shits and giggles. And I died a lot and I didn't care.
Glorious. Let's see. So we have some news now that Monkey Key's been slapped repeatedly for being a dumbass.
Or Black Pill from Basic.
Yes, because we've had to reschedule Solstice to 8 p.m. Norwegian time, or 7 p.m. London time, tomorrow, due to me being late and Trim being shit.
By the way, thanks for having me.
Has been rescheduled to 8 p.m. Monday, English time.
Wait, what? So White Pills is 8 p.m. Monday?
Yep. Because Sultans is going to be 7 p.m. Sunday. Monkey wanted to schedule it for 8 p.m. Sunday. Can't do that, Monkey.
Oh my.
So,
I can
every schedules are moved around because Ezek was sleeping.
I kinda miss having Disco on the Sultans of Shadilay. Was fun.
Oh,
he smacked all of you when you said stupid thing.
We gave her a stool to rain upon us.
Yes. I'm sure Disco will hopefully be back eventually, but she is basking in the glorious glow of a lovely new relationship at the moment.
Yes, she's been messaging me. It's like, hey, it's great. Look at this. It's like, Disco, why? Congratulations, but why?
We are all sad single people.
Yes. Congratulations. Also, screw you.
Yeah.
Well, I think she
Yes,
kinda deserve it.
yes, she does.
Oh,
Disco's
yeah.
had a rough time, so I'm glad she's happy. I'd love her to come back on Sultans, and I expect she will at some point. But yeah, she's basking in the glow of the newness.
And she, well deserved newness. Is
Indeed.
The chemical and
I
the serotonin
assume
all over the place.
Oh yeah, I assume once she settles into being happy, she'll come back. But
Oh yeah.
I can kind of understand why you'd want to spend 6 hours hanging out with your new partner instead of 6 hours getting blackpilled by Bezic.
Yeah, I mean, it's not a
To be honest,
hard jump.
I politically disagree. I think that happiness is verboten and should be banned, and everyone should be miserable all of the time. Because I am miserable all of the time. You can't have that.
Is this so? This is why the Schlieffen plan was implemented. It's like, well, the Belgians are having a nice day. Let's just go invade.
I mean, that does seem to be
Yes,
Germany.
that's kind of correct, to be honest. And now we are pissed.
And you just haven't let it go after all these, almost a century.
And now we have Europe. We are screwing all of you.
So you're responsible for the EU Parliament. I see.
Kinda.
As student of history says, Disco is a good girl who deserves good things, even though it makes everyone here hyper salty. Lol. Yes, exactly. Exactly.
Let the sodium flow.
Mm-hmm. But yeah, Disco is of course always welcome back, and I do anticipate that once she settles in and the hyper glow of a new good thing calms down a little, she'll probably come back.
Oh yeah.
But until then, she's not having a good time. If she wasn't, then I'd be really pissed off. Like, just abandoning us for no good reason, I'd have a fucking problem with. But going off to have fun, fine.
Have a social life and meaningful relationship. It's like, that or this.
That or talk about pedophiles with Bezic.
Yeah. Yeah, I can't. I think we all need to get a fresh new relationship to run from that.
Yep.
But now everyone is doing a power wash on the extreme.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was funny to hear you, Bezek, and discussing. We have to make Trim a space Minecraft.
Oh, and he's so fucking salty, and he does not want part of it.
I have a feeling it's going to happen.
Yep. Disco and I have lots of things to get round to, but Disco's obviously having fun, being happy and bullshit.
The horror. The absolute horror.
And it's like, I'm glad she's happy, but also, fuck's sake, woman, we need you too. We need you for streaming games. And Black Pills.
The Sims need you.
Exactly.
I think this is about a good time to start winding down for this chaotic stream.
Hey, I had a funny anecdote. Speaking of seeing that you had the railroad riot or something you mentioned. Did you know that the first train were made in England, but after that it was the first Belgian king who create the first big railroad system in Europe.
Oh, did not
Leopold the First. Yep.
Excellent.
And the first locomotive they made was named Le Belge.
That sounds about right. No ego there.
Well, we have a little bit, a tiny bit of French in us.
One drops too much. Oh my.
We have so few things for us, so when we have one, we want to make everyone sure that they are aware of that.
Also, so you can have an excuse for poor actions. Just blame the French.
What poor action do you mean?
I mean, we can blame the French for pretty much most of the world's ills.
Yeah,
Yes.
pretty much.
Like, does suffragette sound like an English word?
No, not at all.
The big socialist idea of Rousseau.
Oh, well. It probably is indeed time to wind down.
Indeed. So, thank you, chat, for showing up for this absolute cluster. And hopefully you got some perverse entertainment from this, like we always like to give you.
Yeah. Sultans will be back tomorrow at 7 p.m. London time. I have thrown up the watch page for the live stream so that you can check the localized time if you want. And then, of course, White Pills will be back Monday, 8 p.m.
Excellent. Monsieur Everard, when's your next podcast, whether it is in English or French?
Well, my next podcast is tomorrow, more or less at the same time of the Sultans. I wasn't aware. It's a mistake. Next time I will check with you like your regular schedule. I'm not entirely aware of
our regular schedule is not tomorrow. It's actually 4 hours ago.
Yeah, and
But
it will be in French, and we are going to talk about being a writer in the current day. How is it, or hard is it? What advantage you have, and so forth.
Very nice.
Very cool. And then, no doubt, Trim will have an upload soon for his art channel. And I believe Ardent is doing some streaming at some point during the week. He chills regularly, so catch him at all your normal chill stations.
Yep, and don't forget to bully him about his thumbnails.
Yes.
It's funny because you are both talking like, so the Sultan family will do this and this and this.
I mean, that's basically it.
Yeah.
I'm trying to make an unofficial connected family under the Sultan's banner where everyone's just an independent who's part of the Sultan's family because it's cool.
Yeah.
I'm okay to join as long as the anthem is Sultan of Swings by Dire Straits.
If only we could get rights to that.
That would be truly entertaining.
Yes. Yeah, it was.
So, yeah. Student of history is correct. It is Bezik's fault for fighting with drop bears in the middle of the night for him. And I fully point that finger of accusation.
I still maintain that Strim doing his weird mating calls that's rolling up the drop bears.
I mean, why can't both be correct?
It's like the butterfly effect. Him fighting with the seagull caused the drop bear to increase in violence.
Glorious.
Yeah, so that will be